I'm going to assume it's good because you didn't flip it back. This is a quality intro.
This is all a part of it.
Yeah, we're cutting this out.
Yeah.
All right, are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. I forgot our name.
Well, we're two pods in, and Jordel's forgotten our whole entire existence.
Escape pod.
Yeah, we are the
Should
escape
we-
pod.
There we go.
Should we acknowledge the elephant in the room, or do we just pretend that it was always the four of us?
Hello.
We are officially 50 Shades.
Yeah, we are. That was the name.
That's
Welcome
an.
back to the box office, bros.
You had to look up our name. Two pods in, and bro's forgotten us. All right, well.
Today we're going to be talking about Odyssey review. I do have a icebreaker first question, though, that might get... It won't get heated, but it'll be fun.
The icebreaker might get heated. Well,
Oh,
that
no.
wasn't a pun, but no pun intended. But it might the question might lead to contention. It better not. You better behave yourself.
I think it should be okay.
Okay.
And then just some more rumors and talks about MC. But the Odyssey's spread over here. We do have a new guest. He can introduce himself and give you guys a little bit about him.
Scholar Ice. Jay. Also go by 27th on a couple different platforms. Happy to be here. Got the opportunity by some wonderful people to be invited to the podcast. Got summoned to go watch Odyssey. Was one of the films I was really excited for. So thank you to Jordell and you guys for inviting me and having me on the podcast.
Yeah, welcome.
Let's get it. All right. So the question that we got today, and this was supposed to be last week, but we had a lot to talk about last week with our favorite Supergirl. If you met somebody, say it's an alien, say it's a new person who doesn't know civilization at all, and you had to give them 5 movies to make them fall in love with movies, what would they be?
To make them fall in love with movies, or to inform them about humanity.
Wait, say that one more time.
New person, could be an alien, whatever, doesn't know civilization, never seen movies.
What's the definition of alien?
Superman.
Okay. Non-Earth.
Same question.
Non-American.
That was the question.
Somebody
Was
comes
it?
from Portugal. 5 movies. We can do 3 if it's hard to think of. 3 movies to make them fall in love with movies.
Movies.
Yes.
So not to explain
Not
the
to
human
explain,
condition, but
no.
to make them fall in love with movies.
With the activity of watching movies and to explain to them why we do this, why we find it. So for you, it could be to explain like humanity, like that could be your reason why. But like all of our reasoning could be very vastly different.
Go ahead.
I'm going first.
Yes.
Yeah, you're definitely going first.
Interstellar,
Okay.
because it's my possibly favorite movie that I've ever seen.
Because they leave Earth. Is that why you would add it to the list?
I'd be like, see, this is what it's like.
Humans are smart enough to know.
No, I enjoy the movie a lot. I think that I had it's one of the few movies that I had a lot of expectation for because I watched it really late. I watched it 2 years ago, and it met the expectation or exceeded it, I guess. I would do, which is the second Planet of the Apes movies?
Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Rise?
Are you talking about for the
newer
new trilogy or
ones?
the old?
Yeah, the second one.
Dawn.
Rise. Dawn. I'd show him Dawn.
Interesting.
Wait, no, it's Dawn, Rise, War.
Rise. I would show them Rise.
Wait, Rise, Dawn, Rise. Fuck.
The second
it's
one.
Rise Dawn. The
Whatever the
second
second
one.
one is.
The one with
I would show
Koba.
them the second-
Okay.
yeah, I would
You
show them
are
the
not
second
ape.
one. I would show them the second one because that's my favorite out of the trilogy. I would show them Iron Man to introduce them into the MCU.
Fucking you're so stupid.
And show them.
You have one chance to show these people 5 films.
And
They've never
show
experienced
them-
humanity. You're just showing them Iron Man.
Why this started? What started this the biggest and best cinematic universe?
They'll be like, so you guys are extremely selfish, narcissistic, and worthy of death.
That's 3. I don't know 4 and 5. We can do 3. I'll do those 3. I'll think of 2 more if you guys rattle off 5. It's a tough one. I've actually been thinking about this for 2 weeks and I couldn't get
5.
5. or justification good enough for 5. And I really had to pull the Iron Man one just because I needed an MCU movie. I knew I'd get feedback regardless of what movie I chose, I think. But
Am I next?
Of course.
All right. Let's see. Godfather 2. The first Avatar.
The first live action make by M. Night Shyamalan?
No. No.
the last Airbender. And
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. And what's the Monkey King? Let's do it and get them all out the way.
The Monkey King?
You don't know the Monkey King?
All the M. Night Shyamalan. He's talking about M. Night Shyamalan movies.
I don't know if he directed
I haven't
it.
seen that. No, it was...
Monkey King is Jackie Chan. It's a really bad, really bad movie.
Nice.
Yeah. Or is it... I'm going to say Jackie Chan because I don't want to confuse him and seem like I don't know Asian people apart. So, yeah. Anyways, Avatar, James Cameron, Godfather 2. I would say A Few Good Men. I think that's the right movie I'm thinking of.
You Can't Handle the Truth?
Yeah. Definitely A Few Good Men.
You can stop at 3 if you want.
I had one more. I can't remember. I'll stop at 3.
Okay.
I want to know why Avatar.
Because it's the best version of white colonialism without explicitly saying so.
And why is that important to show an alien?
Explain history.
So we coming for you next. We coming for your planet.
That's quite
That's quite a
a
reason
loaded statement that I feel like...
to just go to the...
I mean,
just
because
gonna let the
you could
guests
show
know.
you could show a documentary about the Catholic Church and the Crusades, or you could just put on Avatar.
There's a lot there.
There is a lot there. There is a lot there.
What are your movies?
My 3 movies.
That was so...
I feel like there's still a lot to unpack there.
Should we even try to unpack this at all, or do we
I
just...
didn't think
No.
that question elicited this type of answer.
No. You have to explain humanity, but also let them know.
Do you
The good.
oh man, I feel like there's just do you really think that colonialism explains humanity?
But his reasoning doesn't have to be your reasoning.
Yes.
I'm saying
Interesting.
like
Colonialism is a part of human history, to be completely honest.
Is a part, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's saying, do you think it's the most important part?
Oh, no, I don't think it's the most important, but I think it explains humanity.
Interesting.
In a nutshell?
Pretty much. From our existence till now.
I feel like that's a pessimistic view.
You think so? I mean, why do we fight wars?
There's a lot of reasons we fight wars.
Yeah, I think there's a more optimistic take on humanity.
Okay, let's see. Okay, you know what? I changed my mind.
What's just like there's just so many cans of worms where it's just like I don't know if we want to get off the topic of movies and like
What's the
historical
Rihanna? What's the Rihanna alien movie? The animated one, Home.
Battleship.
Not Battleship. I'm gonna throw Home on the list. You know what? For good reasons, let's throw Inside Out on there too. Let's
The animation.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's give
I feel
them
like
some.
that gives a better understanding of the human condition than things commenting on colonialism.
I don't know. It's a part of human
That's
history.
interesting. It is.
No, Inside Out is probably a good example of a movie that would. I changed my mind.
We're at like 8 movies now.
Okay, so I'm not actually throwing Inside Out on the list, but I'll throw Men in Black in there, the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you is there a thing? What's your fondness for Men in Black?
I like the line in the movie where, God, what's his name? The white guy.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones, where he says, he said, humans are stupid, but a person is smart. And when Will Smith asks, like, why don't they introduce aliens to the world?
Interesting.
And I think it's a very interesting take on, I guess, just it as a whole, and I think you could kind of connect it to Man of Steel in a way, because
Bringing it back.
everything comes back to Man of Steel. No, but Kevin Costner's character kind of alludes to that same idea when he was like expressing to Clark about not sharing his powers with the world just yet. So,
In a tornado.
and then he dies in a tornado, and they still become Superman, and everyone figures out his powers. But
Yeah,
you know.
but the line for that would be storms are stupid, but weather is smart.
And then they would have killed thousands of people.
He did not kill
All right,
thousands
Jay,
of people.
You're up. Deshaun's answer really brought us around the
Man,
world.
we really.
I don't know how I could top that. I'd say out of the movies that I would show, probably first would be, this is a crazy take, but it's probably because it's one of my favorite movies, Whiplash.
I
That's
wanna
interesting.
See it. I haven't seen it.
You've never
You've seen everything.
Okay, we're gonna.
I
just
get
keep going.
whiplash
Just keep
every
going.
time he
just keep
says that
going.
there's a movie he hasn't
Yeah.
watched that he should have watched.
He wants to start a movie podcast, but hasn't seen any movie ever. Continue.
I've never cooked before, but I'm opening a restaurant.
I respect it. I feel like it's one of the movies. It's a deep cut. It was something shown in a film.
Have you seen Magazine Dreams?
Oh man,
I've heard of it.
Okay.
that movie.
You've seen Magazine Dreams, but you haven't seen Whiplash.
That's Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
He's like one of my favorite actors.
Okay, continue.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
hasn't
get the
watched
chance
Okay.
to see that because I can't remember what movie came out around that.
Because they
same
tried to hide it, and you had to like go through like a foreign website to try to find the movie.
Yeah, it wasn't the best rollout given the circumstances that he was in at the current moment.
Hey, he does some crazy stuff in that movie.
Yeah, I think that even from what I was seeing in Magazine Dreams, the trailer, it felt like the same type of vibe of inspirational
Yeah,
that you could get from
Yeah,
Whiplash.
as someone who's seen both, yeah, it's definitely like the bodybuilding equivalent of Whiplash for sure. Yeah.
And then I'd probably go second. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I feel like that would be a good explanation of, the human condition and the human mindset when you got so much going on. In that movie, she was going through like foreclosure, possibly of her business, losing her husband, all the different things that literally everything, everywhere, all at once. But I feel like that'd be a good film to show, like how.
I feel like Gino's thinking of a joke. Just as,
No, that was. I was just acknowledging the cleverness of the use of the line.
Yeah. Appreciate it. And then I think third, I'd go probably back to E.T. Showing them we could be allies, we could be homies. We can, as y'all come here, y'all don't.
I feel like District 9 would be better to show him.
You little. I wanted to say District
It'd be
9.
so dangerous. Alien species, and you're like, hey, I got a great movie for you.
I wanted to
swear
see.
We wouldn't.
I wanted to say District 9, but I'm like, I brought it up last pod, so I don't want to again.
Oh, District 9's a wonderful movie, but that would not be the first
No,
5
not at
movies.
all.
I'd be like, let me expose you to some of the positive traits of humanity, and then I'll expose you to some of the negatives. Did you have others?
Others.
Go ahead and throw Home on the list. It's basically E.T. but animated.
I think maybe next for a comedy, I'd pull like 21 Jump Street. I feel like me personally growing up, I think that it gave me like it was a little bit of a comfort movie, something I could just throw on, just mindlessly turn on. But even then, when I first watched it, I was endlessly rolling. 21 and 22 Jump Street. I heard that they're supposed to be making the third.
Cynthia.
Jesus died for our
Cynthias.
So I
Beep
feel like
boop. You're dead.
Yeah.
Beep boop beep. That scene is so cringe. It's awesome.
Jesus died for our sins. Dude, it's so funny. Dude, you saying a comedy.
Name Jeff.
I would put Wedding Crashers or Step Brothers.
oh,
I wouldn't
both
put
of
both. I'd put one or the other.
them.
Because I'd have to have a comedy in there. Great pull. An animated movie, I'd do Lion King. That's my favorite. One. Just about redemption.
Yeah, I think that would probably wrap it up there with my 4. And then if I had to throw in a 5th, probably like you gotta go with something, another classic, like something like Titanic. I feel like that's something where a lot of directors may go back and look at films of that time, and Titanic I feel like was possibly something that can be something that could show at least the history of film.
First movie to make me cry.
Was it the drawing scene that made you cry?
Draw me.
She's suffocating in the car afterwards.
I don't get it.
The first movie that made me cry was Transformers 2.
Gino, what
Optimus
are your, at
Prime
least 3 movies?
got me, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
What are
I
your
get it,
3
I get it.
movies, Gino?
I was 9 years old, Gino. I wasn't 15.
Sean
Okay.
is done talking.
That is not the answer I would have expected ever. If you gave me a million guesses, I never would have guessed that movie.
What was that one? Dark of the Moon?
No, Fate of was it Fate of the Fallen? Revenge of the Fallen?
Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah. I was 9 years old, Gino. What do you have to say?
I don't have anything.
Sorry,
That's
I
a
wasn't
good
15.
choice. It was a good choice.
I bet it was.
Oh man, that's just so funny. Do you mind? Do you remember what scene made you cry?
Yes, Optimus Prime dying, dude.
Okay. As a 9-year, okay, yeah, that's fair.
What else would it be?
I don't know.
I saw I saw a white kid in college, and I was like, man, it really gets me.
He's the movie.
The movie.
He starts off in college.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Okay.
And then the lady.
Have you never seen
tries to seduce him.
the second
Mhm.
Transformers?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gino. You're 3.
Okay.
4 or 5.
No, I thought I didn't know if you were saying I saw White Kid in college. Like I didn't know if there was a film called White Kid and you saw it in college. I didn't know you were still talking about Transformers 2. So that's why my face was like, am I missing a movie named White
Yeah,
Kid?
that's actually the name of my first feature. It's gonna be White Kid in College,
That's good.
starring someone black.
That sounds like a good idea. You
Yeah, it does.
Can we do TV shows?
Oh, dude, what? No, because I have better.
Whole different answer.
Yeah, I have better answers.
You waited until you're the last person and then asked for TV.
Add your TV shows.
I don't know. 1,
2.
Breaking Bad. And
You stole mine.
You can have the same one.
That's true. I guess.
Breaking Bad and I don't know. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Dang.
The one that's on Netflix?
The animator is also on Netflix, so that's funny. Well, I was gonna say Breaking Bad.
Is that also about white colonialism?
No, not at all. It's the white American dream. Let's see. I'm gonna say Snowfall actually, just cause. Have you seen Snowfall?
It's decent until the end.
I respect it.
It's good. It's good until the end.
God, Gino, you're gonna bring TV shows up and never seen Snowfall. I'd say Game of Thrones if it ended better. I'll stick with just Snowfall.
Chappelle Show.
That's a good answer.
Get a lot of everything just in one show.
I feel like a safe answer would be Seinfeld because of the same answers, you know. Breaking Bad would be essential. It would cover ambition, greed, and regret. Yeah.
Probably all the sins.
I mean, you experience a lot of the human, like the darker sides of the human emotions, but also some of the most beautiful ones, like the way that Jesse cares for children, the things that redeem, meaning like I see a child suffer, I can't do this anymore. Like that's a great, his character arc is a good, it's a good way of showing that even the darkest of humanity can change, right? And even some of us can't. I would agree with the Game of Thrones thing if it finished well. I think Game of Thrones gives a nice broad range of the human condition because all of the characters have such vastly different emotions and motivations. But The Wire...
Oh, I was waiting for you to stop talking so I could say The Wire.
The Wire is perfect.
Yeah.
It's incredible. The way that it analyzes the way that different parts of society function, the incentives and constraints that each have, the motivations that each thing has to take care of itself between government, education, police, the city. Like, it does a wonderful job exploring all of them. Movies, I would say Shawshank Redemption. I think that the second Planet of the Apes is a really good movie. I think that would probably be a good one. Even though it's apes, it shows...
I think you put me onto that trilogy.
It's a good trilogy. I think that one is a really good one because it shows what an optimal leader can look like. Like, Caesar is an excellent role model in that film because he has rules, but then when the rules bind him, he can update. And he does that where, like, Koba, he's holding him down from the thing. He's just like, ape, not kill ape. And he's like, you're not ape, man. Yeah. Like, and it's just like, we don't kill each other, but, like, unless we need to. And then it's just like, he now is the type of person who can make rules, enforce rules, and update rules, which is what you need in a leader.
Or change the idea of what an ape is kind of like how I interpret it.
Right.
Like, you are not an ape because apes are supposed to be this.
Right.
This or this. Hello.
You flicked it off at some point.
Anyway.
Or change the idea of what ape is.
Yeah, change the idea of what ape is, and that's special because it's like you can have a rule and not break the rule. You twist what the ideology is inside of the rule.
Sure,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it is an update to the rule where, like, it is what Batman. Like, if you were to get down to the nitty gritty, like Batman, it's like or the Daredevil Punisher dynamic, like
In the first
in the first season, the quality season, with their argument of like, you put them down, they come back up. I
Or
put them down,
Oliver
they stay
Queen
down.
in the Dark Archer.
The what?
The Arrow in the Dark Archer.
What's that?
It's from the TV show that aired.
I haven't
CW
watched the
TV
Arrow.
show.
Same type of
the
arts?
CW TV show, yeah.
Yeah. So those are great. Just to the ability, it's very important that we have ideals, but that we are able to not be imprisoned to them.
Yeah.
And we need both, and Caesar represents that well. I think that shows optimally functioning authority in that movie. And if I were to give another movie, I'd say... Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I think that'd probably be a good one. And if I could add another one, Casablanca. Casablanca. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret is a beautiful, like, family story and coming of age. Shows all of a huge range of emotions, family, the importance of it, the importance of parents giving room for children to grow up, and then Casablanca, like, you need to show what it means for people to be passionately in love. Because that is also a huge part of the human condition. So,
What about Scenes from a Marriage?
Scenes from a Marriage?
Scenes from a Marriage?
I haven't seen it.
Ugh.
Good. I've seen Marriage Story, and that was a good one. It's heartbreaking, but
I guess Marriage Story could work too. They're pretty similar. Yeah.
All right. Learned a little bit more about us.
yeah.
We're gonna head into the meat of the entree, the Odyssey.
Before we get started, just know I will be sending this episode to my freshman English teacher.
Okay.
Just to let the world know that I was not a child that got left behind.
Awesome. And on that note,
This guy's just throwing curveballs in. Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed today, or what's going on? It's like
Yeah.
you want to fight.
and I hate everyone. And
I love everyone.
let's do our ratings out of 10. Do we want to go one by one or at the same time?
Definitely not at the same time.
One by one. Gino, I want you to go last, so we can start at J and go like this way.
Oh man, you sure you want to? All right.
Yeah, I want you to start off hot.
Out of 10, what is your rating for Odyssey?
Okay, I'm gonna give it a personal, and it's really stupid why I'm giving it a 9. Personally, the reason why I'm giving it a 9 is because in one of the scenes, are we allowed to do spoilers or no?
No. Let's do rating.
Okay.
Let's do non-spoilers, and then we'll say spoilers so that when you clip.
Okay, 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it a 10. I'll give it a 10. I won't nitpick it. I'll give it a 10.
Oh, snap. He went up. I thought he was going to.
I thought he was gonna go down.
I thought he was going to go down.
No, I'm
okay.
giving it. I personally, as a person that again just watched it casually, I feel like for the casual audience that's gonna go in not expecting anything, you're just going in to watch a good film that's by Nolan. You know, you just want to turn off. Average person, I looked it up, watch 1 to 3 movies in a year. So if this is one of your 1 movies in a year, I feel like it was a pretty good movie. I feel like when I went in, I paid my $40 for my movie tickets, and then I paid my $30 for my concessions, and you know, I sat down right as trailers ended because I timed it because there's 30-minute trailers.
Yeah.
I think that it was worth the value. I think that it was worth my $10 or not my $10.
Oh, shoot,
my
spoiler.
$40. What was it?
I said spoiler. That wasn't the cost of the ticket.
Yeah, $40. Yeah, I felt like it was $40 well spent. Left the movie theater feeling full. So, you know, no complaints from my end on at least on that front.
Mr. Deshaun, Odyssey, out of 10.
As somebody who read the book, I'm probably slightly lower on it than everyone else here.
Challenge accepted.
I promise.
In my heart, I want to say 9,
Okay.
but I'll go 8.5.
Boom. Mine is also 8.5 out of 10, and it's grown. I'll add this: it's grown as I've came out of the theater. The more I've
So
thought
you
about it.
were down on it.
I was probably like at an 8, like a solid 8.
Okay.
And then it's climbed the more I've thought about it and talked to it with others who have seen it and kind of given like
People not on the spot.
the
Dang,
perspectives
crazy.
like that I took from it. And I'm very interested to talk to you about some of the, because I took some of it just a completely different direction of like what it was for. So I'm interested, and I didn't read the book, so like that also helps, because I'm sure if I read the book, I'm somebody who would be like,
I would say I can't go into spoilers, but it's more of like what didn't make it into the movie that lowers it, and not necessarily
the changes.
Okay,
Yeah, that's cool. The moment I've been waiting for over 24 hours.
Has it been over 24 hours?
No, less than 24, but around. Gino, you're notorious. You gave Supergirl a 2 out of 10. Shang-Chi is a 3 out of 10. You loved Obsession. You like weapons. You like The Long Walk. It's just some things that I know about you. What do you give?
A long walk would be a good one to include in that list.
Okay, Gino,
It's a
we're
good
past it. We're
picture of
past it.
friendship.
We're past it.
Okay.
What do you give the Odyssey out of 10? I'm so prepared to know and excited.
I haven't read the book, so I can't be generous to the source material, but I suspect that the fact that the story has remained in the Western consciousness for over 3,000 years shows that the story is very significant and important, and is touching on to something that's very true to the human condition. My rating would be, I'd give it a 5.
Wow! My goodness! And he does it again.
I just there's so many there are so many good things to it. I think the importance of the overall theme of the show are very important for our society. I think in execution, this film was extremely boring until the final scene. I had to resist checking my watch. I felt like there was multiple scenes where I should feel excited and care, and I didn't care at all. I was like an hour in, we're seeing a Cyclops, and I'm like bored.
Yeah.
The look of the Cyclops was interesting, and you're like, oh, that's unique, but I
No
was so
CGI.
bored. I was
All
so
practical.
bored. And I think that I would say Nolan's commitment to not using CGI actually made the film worse.
1,000%.
There's so many shots where they had
1,000%.
to rely on close shots.
1,000%.
And like
Interesting.
when Zeus struck them into the ocean, what it should have done was a pullback shot to show the ocean in this minuscule little ship and a strike of lightning, and it shatters. But instead, he can't do that because he'd have to animate it.
Yeah.
And so he has really close shots. I never get
bit of a
a
spoiler, by the way.
perspective of the boat in space.
But it's okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I never get a perspective of almost anything in space. Of the Cyclops, of the pigs. Like, there's so many shots where I'm like, I see what you're doing, and from a camera trickery perspective, this is, like, very clever. You've accomplished a lot with a little. But it came, like...
It would have been
it
more
would have been
impressive
better.
if it was a low-budget film, kind of.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed.
Like
agreed.
if it was like an
1,000%.
obsession level and they were doing all this whole movie with no money, it'd be like, wow, you pulled it off without.
Right, yes. It's like you
anything.
didn't animate anything. Like, I see how you did that. Like, it's almost like the
Interesting.
Hobbit tricks with the camera in Lord of the Rings, where you're like, oh, wow, they really do look bigger and
Perspective, yeah.
smaller. That's very clever. But then I need to be able to see a camera shot pulled back that shows Gandalf being taller than Frodo, and the movie does that. But like Nolan would not do that. It would constantly be really close shots with Frodo and really close shots with Gandalf.
Yeah.
And this movie, it drove me insane because I'm just like, how big is this Cyclops? Oh, well, the camera's pointing up, so I know he's at least that tall. But I never get to see the Cyclops walking in the forest.
And
I
even when
I
he
don't want to
goes,
get into
you see
spoilers.
him-
I don't want to
Yeah,
get
not
into
into
spoilers,
spoilers,
but the scene you talk about it's very obvious that it was shot on a sound stage with water in a pool. Like it's so obvious.
Wait. None of the shots. None of the shots are in a pool.
It was all real.
All of them are on
A
a
real
ship.
Are you
pool.
sure?
All of
A
them.
real pool.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
all of them are on a real ship in real water.
There's like up on the ship.
I
and-
don't know.
I literally just read it.
Okay.
It looks like
It looks like a sound
it looks
stage.
like
yeah.
a soundstage,
It's not.
which
He
is
did- he
really
did all of it
unfortunate.
I
practically.
wouldn't be surprised if there were certain, like for example, when he was trying to create the whirlpool, that specific area possibly being in the pool.
when
but
when Matt Damon goes back into the water,
yeah.
Okay, hold
it's
on.
all close.
We're Yeah, it's
all close.
When he goes into the water, it's all close.
Yeah.
And you know what's coming. And you're like, oh, sweet. Give me a far back shot to show that. And it's
Yeah.
like, nope, that would be AI. Or that would be
CGI.
CGI. And it's
For
like,
sure.
come on.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, to not go into any more spoilers, I definitely felt the time for an hour 45, and that's why you checked your phone at an hour in, I believe.
And I genuinely was like, Jesus,
and
I
you
have an hour and a half
I
left
looked
of
at it
this.
sideways, and I was like, maybe I'm tripping. And I looked at it, I said an hour, because we got there at 1, doesn't start till 1:30. It was 2:30, like 2:27 or something. And I was like, wow, it's only been an hour. So for an hour, I'd say an hour 45, I couldn't lock in. I was bored. Not bored. I was not locked in, I think is the best way I can say.
His non-linear narratives,
Dude, insane.
stupid.
And the first like 30 minutes, the shot choices were weird. It was
Yeah,
like
they were
so
very weird.
sporadic.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
at the beginning when the mom and son were walking out, he goes in to out to back in instead of doing out when they walk out to in. And I don't even do like film stuff, and I was just like, that's a weird shot selection sequence. It got way better towards it got more.
That was one of my biggest things I was worried about, because Nolan has a commitment to non-linear storytelling. And if I'm being honest, outside of like the first like 30 minutes of jumping around, all the other, I guess, time jumps or whatever, I was fine with. I thought they were fine. My favorite was the one towards the end where he goes back to being in the middle of the city in Troy. Yeah.
But I feel like you could have told the same story just going on linear.
True. Yeah, I mean, you definitely could have.
I think the linear would have helped, because even though I know it's the problem with a prequel. Like, one of the hard things about a prequel is you know that they'll make it because there's a sequel. And so when you're telling the perspective of, I made it through this, there's no stakes. I know you will survive the giant.
Yeah,
I know
because
you
you're
will
telling us the story. So you let us see the story and then feel
Well,
like something might happen.
some people would argue that the book itself is actually not told linear whatever it's
Linear.
it's linear. The book is not linear either, so that could I guess that's an argument for why he didn't tell it in a linear fashion as well. But I mean, I don't know, I liked the what's it called, monologue of Matt Damon's character at the end with the flashback included over his
Sure.
monologue, so I thought that worked out fine.
To me, the end, like the last hour.
The last hour
why
is-
I have it
yeah.
at 8.5.
Yeah,
Like,
I would
the
say
last hour, I was locked in. I was thinking about everything else that first hour, 45 minutes, anything. Like, I was just like, man, I know Gino doesn't like this. I know, like, this is going to be so interesting to talk about. Like, I unforcefully thinking about recording. Like, I could think about anything at this moment. That hour kicked in. I guess it didn't happen for you, but I was locked. Like, I was in
Yes, the last hour is
movie.
the best part of the movie.
And I was like, wow, if this would have been 3 hours of this, or at least 2, like, this is
It's
10
for
out of
some.
10.
It's like there were character moments that I cared about,
Yeah.
as
And then there
opposed to
were some
like
that wasn't.
sequences of things that I felt like he needed to add. It's like, well, we need
Yeah.
the Cyclops scene, we need the boat scene, we need the whatever that weird monster scene is. Another scene, the monster scene in the ocean, where it's just like all camera tricks, and I'm like, give me a perspective shot. I need to see how big
And
this
you
thing
don't
is.
see it until it goes back.
Yeah, and it's like half a second. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Jesus, stop.
Real
doing
quick,
that.
no spoilers. Anything you have to say?
Yeah, I would say that
To kinda back
personally,
up your rating.
I've been enjoying films with a non-linear fashion and way it's in the way that it's being presented, because I feel like nowadays with society and media, a lot of things are cookie cutter, templated. You gotta go by this, formulaic way of trying to, go like this. But I feel like the way that he was telling the story in a non-linear fashion, he was trying to build the legend of who he was, essentially, because you got to take it into account. While they're telling the story at the beginning from his son's perspective, his son doesn't really know him that well. Try and go back and think about being like 5, 6, 7 years old and trying to remember some of the people. Yeah, true. But there are
literally
for some people certain situations and certain aspects
No, for
where
sure.
in a situation that things like when he was telling the story of like when he was first seeing his father hunting and things of that sort. I felt like it made sense that, again, they were trying to build that legend of who he was for the people like myself that don't know it. Because you got to kind of, there's a lot that you got to fill in into 3 hours, and you're shooting with the IMAX camera. You can only film at 3 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jumping around that you're just naturally going to have to do.
Sure.
But I do think that hopefully, again, that maybe there's an extended version where he can maybe expand more on that jumping around that he was doing at the beginning. So that way it doesn't feel like it was just like kind of thrown in there. Versus where if he would have did it in a more linear fashion, the story would have flowed probably more progressively.
Yeah, I liked it. I kind of like the idea of it being Odysseus, because it's kind of his perception, because he doesn't know who he is.
Right.
I like the idea that he doesn't know who he is, so it's kind of telling us and him who he is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the retell. I just don't think they did a great job of making it interesting, or like, I didn't care as much. And I tried, like I really tried to care, because I'm like, this is, in theory, and I also walked in forgetting, I know this story already. I used to love Greek mythology. I forgot that this is a Greek mythology movie. I told him after the movie. So when the Cyclops showed up, I was like, what movie am I in? Like, I thought it was going to be like a period war piece.
Yeah.
So then I had to reconstruct what I thought this movie was. But it's just like, and a Cyclops would usually make me excited, or like, wow, this is kind of cool. Like, it's a Cyclops. Like,
Yeah.
I used to read about
I
this all
loved
the time.
the Cyclops design, to be honest.
The design was cool. It freaked me out a little bit, but like, I just couldn't care, like he said. Like, and then they kept going, and in theory, pissing off Poseidon and him pushing you to these islands to where, sorry, I'm going into spoilers, but in theory, what's happening is like, that's really cool, and I do want to see it, but I just didn't care. Like, I just didn't care until the last hour when they actually got to the story, and then I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, no.
I really liked the sound design. It was good.
Sound.
The sound design.
Oh,
Sound
yeah,
design
yeah,
was
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
The sounds were interesting.
Every
Yeah.
time that bow struck, it was always right within the beat of the music.
Mhm.
That was very satisfying every time it was used.
Yeah.
That was a very clever design.
Yeah.
It was like a nice
Well,
Pin drop.
one of the things that like a lot of people complain about, not funny. One of the things a lot of people complain about with Nolan movies is the sound, because he likes to shoot on IMAX, and one of the difficulties of shooting on IMAX is dialogue because the cameras are so
He had to
loud.
create a
I
whole
did
system.
hear that
Yeah.
first.
So I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure because they recently rehoused some IMAX cameras to eliminate the sound even more, and I believe he did use the newer versions, and that's why he was able to shoot
He did.
100% IMAX. Because usually what happens is they'll split it, so like the dialogue scenes will be with whatever camera that is in IMAX, and then they'll shoot the big spectacle scenes with IMAX. But since he used you said he did use it. Okay, so yeah,
Or it said either he did or he made his own. Like
Yeah.
he did rehome it.
yeah. So either way, a rehoused
Or
IMAX
rehoused,
camera is why. So I think this was his way of also letting people know that like I'm gonna continue to shoot in IMAX, and I'm gonna fix the problems that comes with shooting in IMAX. And so that's one reason why I really do appreciate the sound design, is because it's also his commitment to furthering, filmmaking as a whole. So
I appreciate his whole
Yeah.
ideology of making the movie, like no CGI and all that stuff. It's just
I feel like what's more important when you're telling a story is telling a story.
yeah.
And when you're gonna put limitations on yourself, such as that, then you better make sure that the story you tell can live within those limitations.
It's almost like
Yeah.
the
And he
thing we
can't-
were just talking about with Caesar, like the
Yeah.
rule.
Right.
yeah,
Like if you gotta adapt it a little bit, like if you gotta use CGI a little bit, like
Yeah.
you're
It's like
still
if I'm gonna say
sticking-
no CGI whatsoever, and then it's just like, but I'm making a story that requires CGI, then it's like, then you can't. You either have to not adhere to that rule, or
Yeah.
you have to tell a different story.
yeah,
Like, and he wanted it both ways, and I felt like it was to the detriment of this film. Just
It's a
felt
very
like there's so
interesting-
many times where I was just like, I want to see what this looks like
Exactly.
in space,
Yeah.
and I wasn't allowed to see that
And I f-
because it would.
one thing that really painted that picture was the whatever knights they were. I can't think of their name in the book.
Knights
But
of Ren.
yeah, the Knights of Ren. The scene could have been so much better, even with the trees, like, because the way they showed it just looked. I don't know. It didn't really.
With the trees shifting.
Yeah, with the trees shifting, it
That
didn't
tripped me
look.
out.
It
did.
I don't know. It just.
I needed to see the forest.
Yeah, I
moving
needed to
from a
see
different
the- yes,
perspective, as
yes,
opposed to, like,
yes.
is that tree moving? Oh, wait, is that like I couldn't tell if the trees were
or
moving,
if they were just
Mhm.
running in a
or
weird
if the
way.
camera was.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah,
then there were some shots where I'm like, okay, the trees are
Yeah.
moving,
yeah.
but I
Yeah.
couldn't.
Because my first thought was, oh, they just didn't see the trees, and the giants created the trap themselves.
Right,
That was
yeah.
my first thought.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. But then, spoiler.
real
then-
quick, and then we'll just go spoilers. After you saying that, it clicks with me. Like I also kind of I don't have that problem, but like I see what you're saying. Like I also kind of need that.
like
too.
them being surrounded by trees. That's not a spoiler. Them being surrounded
no.
by trees. You can't
just
infer that.
No.
Them being
said
surrounded
something
by
else, and I
trees
was
is
like-
like I don't know why they're surrounded by trees.
Yeah, exactly.
And the what I think I'm supposed to gather is that the trees
Yeah.
were magically moved.
Back to the great movie of Shang-Chi, they show trees moving a lot better in that movie than this one.
Such a good movie. Hey, we're going to spoiler warning. So we're just gonna go into spoilers and talk because I don't think we can really talk a lot besides like how it was shot
All right.
without saying spoilers.
Yeah.
but
I gotta take my jacket off for this.
I have different viewpoints on this, so I'd like to go at least after you because you're the negative Nancy on this. So
I'm pretty negative.
Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah,
can
I
go
mean, you
first.
brought it all the way down to a 9. That's pretty.
First of all, I read it. I read it down
than everyone
to
else in this room.
8.5.
8.5.
I was like, what?
Yeah, 8.5.
That is not.
That's not.
Well, honestly, I thought you were gonna be higher, just because you didn't say much negative previously. So.
I knew he made one comment after the theater, and we had to stop.
What was the comment?
When we were walking out of the whole building, you were like, "I can't wait to write a blog about this effing movie," and I was like, "Well, he didn't like it. He didn't like it." So I was like, "I know it's gonna be low. I don't know how low. 5 is pretty low."
I actually walked out of the theater with pretty positive regard for the film.
So you sat and it got worse.
Yes, like I knew there were problems with it because, like, one, just the creative limitations that he put on himself were very irritating. I was bored. I checked my watch. These are all signs of bad storytelling. I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, there are 3-hour movies that are really good that I never checked the watch once.
Avengers Endgame.
I didn't at the time. Fat Thor is really annoying. Fat Thor with his mom is really annoying.
Fortnite.
I think it's a one watch type of thing, like Endgame. Like the more you watch.
Shawshank Redemption is probably a 3-hour movie.
The Green Mile is another movie. I feel like it's 3 hours.
Yeah,
That just
and great
you don't
movies.
think about it.
You didn't like or see?
Green Mile I didn't like.
Okay.
You didn't like
I
The
haven't
Green
seen it in
Mile?
a long
As
time.
much.
I'd be open to rewatching, and I would bet.
Yeah,
the
maybe.
rating would be lower.
Maybe.
Every time I watch Shawshank, I'm like glued. It's good, and there's no points where I'm like, oh, that could have been done better, or this character should have done this. The people act the way that human beings should act. I learned the lesson that the movie was intending to tell me. But no, with this, it was. I think from a cultural standpoint, it is very rare to see a story that has we need to return back to the center.
Yeah.
We need not the traditional icon of the center is the patriarchy. We need the father to return home.
Loved it.
We need a competent man
Yeah.
to come home. Like
Or
the fact that but the film has contradictions to its own theme because it can't help but throw in feminist values from every female character along the way. But I'm assuming that the impact of Odysseus coming home is just too big of a punch that you can't alter that. You can't have a feminist movie and then, but you want your feminist views in the movie, but you also can't remove the impact of the Odysseus scene. Mm-hmm. And so Nolan, right, like properly so, kept Odysseus doing, like, being a man, like being a competent man and destroying the incompetent, selfish, greedy men.
Yeah.
Like, these are all, like, good things, but they're... So I'm very, like, from a cultural, like, what our culture needs as far as recognizing that there is justification for good leadership and we need those things to be at the pinnacle. It doesn't have to be male, that's not the point. But Odysseus represents the good, competent thing. The same reason Caesar would represent the good, competent thing. Like, whatever that is needs to be at the top. Yeah. And right now our culture is obsessed with the things at the edge, the things at the periphery. Those should be in the center. And everything else that is the center should be considered suspect. It's either tyrannical, patriarchal, and it shackles us. Like, what's the name of the guy? He says, man is born free but is forever put in chains. We have this view in our society, and so every single time you'll see someone in an authority figure nowadays, it is always they either have skeletons in their closet or we need to tear them down because they're lying to us. And this film did not say that. It was like, no, like, there was proper leadership in place. It is lost. We need to bring it back. And it's not just bring it back for old time's sake. Like, the scavengers are approaching, and they're the ones that are reaching the top. And we need to get them out of here before everything is destroyed. And Odysseus comes back before everything's destroyed, but then it's not just him. He needs to pass it on to his son, who now has an updated view of the world, and he will now be king. Like, this is the proper way of things. Yeah. And from what the culture needs right now, I'd say this film is very important. I think people should see it. But the film is contradictory in its ability to tell that story because it needed the other things in the message.
That that actually points to, I guess, my critique of things that were left out because,
what are the other things,
well, for instance, the witch that turns the men into pigs in the book, he's like with her for a year, and they actually have a child together. Odysseus, yeah. Okay. And then, what?
Really?
Yeah, and then he also sleeps. I mean, it's pretty obvious that he sleeps with Calypso, but they also have a child together too. And I think that is one thing that would have added to, I guess, the idea, how am I trying to say it? The idea that a leader can make mistakes, if that makes sense. Like, if you add in the context of him having these other children and cheating on his wife and things like that, I think it provides more context to him not being.
It's hard to say he's a good father.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes him more human.
It makes him more human, and it also provides, in my opinion, in a way, a little bit a more. It humanizes him a little bit more.
Because he's almost, real quick, he's like almost like a demigod figure.
Yeah,
right.
But
like,
I
also,
really liked the. Sorry, just to interject. Like, is this a god?
Yeah.
Is this a god? And it's like, no, he's not a god. But him standing in that cloak was like, bro,
kind
you're
of.
about to fucking
like
find out.
this is kind of like Luke.
But I also,
Anakin,
but I also,
Yeah.
I also kind of think that at the same time, I don't think they differentiated enough between until the last half hour Odysseus and everyone else. Like, I feel like they didn't necessarily show his strength in his what am I trying to say?
Like why he's known.
Like why he's known, and also why he's kind of a threat to the throne in a sense. And so they kind of like allude to it, like what's his name? Agamemnius or whatever. Agamemnon kind of alludes to the idea of like him being this, and even Agamemnon, his brother, kind of points to this idea that Odysseus is like here, like he may not be the king of king, but like Odysseus is that guy. But you don't really necessarily see him really be him. Like you see him tell the story of how like we're all sitting on the beach, and then he has this great idea. But like outside of that, they don't really show Odysseus being this guy that could be, some people think is like an actual demigod. Like they don't really show him doing anything that points to the idea or building the mystery of this man potentially being more than a man.
Mm-hmm.
And then even in the scenes where he's fighting, like
I kind of liked that though. That almost was a positive for me, like the build up. Now was the payoff. It depends on how much you like the payoff.
Maybe it would be better to have after the fact scenes, so you never see Odysseus in action, but you always see the effects of him being in action.
Yeah.
So then you're like, damn, what happened?
Yeah.
Damn, what happened?
Yeah.
Every time Odysseus steps in, and then you actually get to see it happen.
Yeah,
at the
I liked how it kept dragging us along, and all we see is he's smart, he's a good kind of tactician, he's always there for his people, and he's honorable, but we never see that, and I liked that because then at the end when he finally does start killing dudes, you're like, whoa, kind of came out of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know. Everybody keeps talking about Odysseus, but it came out of nowhere. Now, I don't think anybody's gonna stop him because he just took out 15 of these dudes.
Right.
So I kind of it was almost.
I guess I would have wanted to see that sooner in the film.
Yeah,
'Cause-
maybe just a tease of it at least one other
Yeah,
time.
at least a tease of it. Like I don't know. It just
Were when the men got turned into pigs.
mm-hmm.
Do you remember in the book, were those men more like pigs? Because in the scene of the movie, it was unjustifiable for
even
her
all
to
the
call
scenes.
those men pigs.
Yeah.
Like, she's running, and then the guy's on top of her. He's like, hey, we just want food.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to hurt you.
good.
And
Yeah.
she's like, please don't. I'll do whatever you want. And he's like,
Yeah.
no. Like, and so it's like, oh, these guys aren't those types
I
of guys. And then
don't
she turns them into pigs,
remember.
and she's like, oh, look, these are your true colors. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you just showed me that he wasn't going to forcefully get himself on top of you, since I don't want to be demonetized.
yeah.
It just showed that he's not that type of person. So at least this guy isn't that type of person. And then she's like, "Oh, you're pigs."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
well, the
why?
only time you kind of see that, I guess, is when that village ran instead of helping, and they just set everything on fire. And
Yeah.
but even that wasn't, and maybe it's implied.
Going back to
I feel like they do end up showing it in that last scene when they finally stop cutting
true,
off the part where
true.
he keeps taking off.
But
the helmet
but that's a
and they show-
mixture of his man and Aggie's guys.
That is
You see
true,
what I'm
but
saying? Like you
ultimately-
can't really differentiate for the actual Battle of Troy. Like it shows them killing the women, implied killing children. I would
They
assume.
do show.
Yeah,
It-
and so or
And they killed
unaliving.
Zendaya.
unaliving. But
Killed.
they show you this, but to me, that's not justification just because you don't know whose men that is. Because there's two forces combined. He grabbed his best man and Aggie's best man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Back to-
once again, it's a sanitization of this movie does not know how to handle nuance. It needs to paint the hero in a positive light with clean hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when there are no clean hands, he needs to have remorse.
Yeah.
Like the fact that like this is not to justify the ravages of war. It is just an acknowledgement of the fact thereof.
Exactly, yeah.
That when war happens, when you put human beings into this type of situation, it's not going to be pretty, and people will behave in ways that you will find disgusting after the fact.
Yeah.
Should we try to limit those things? Absolutely. Should we hold people accountable for doing those things? Absolutely. Yeah. But the idea of like, oh, Odysseus, he can't have an affair, and his men can't do these things is like, guys, like,
if you're gonna go there, go there.
He would. His men would. And
bro was super horny in the books, bro. Yeah. And they did not. I'm not saying we had to have full out sex scenes, but like there's no evidence of.
It's like if you're gonna call these men pigs, have me see scenes of them being pigs.
Exactly.
So then when she turns them into pigs, I'm like, damn, like, yeah, you guys are pigs. Mm-hmm. As opposed to like, oh, these are like kind of decent, competent men.
Exactly.
And then she gives them food and then tortures them. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Because it feels like throughout the movie they almost force it on us that these guys are not pigs.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They're always like,
back to your
hey,
disguises.
we're
and
not
like,
trying to kill you. Like,
yeah.
we just want supplies. We're going back, and then we're out of your hair.
Yeah.
Like, it's like constant like that. Like, hey, we're not here to. Even when they go to the woods, like it's like, hey. Whoa, we're good. The girl stands up. She's like, hey.
They resist for months not eating the cows. Like, these are very competent with some sense of, like, disciplined men.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, the movie doesn't have the ability to, like, it doesn't do what Andor does, which is, like, hey, the rebellion is built it's kind of fucked up. Like, there's some mess.
Yeah.
There's some dirty hands in order to get this rebellion started.
Yeah.
And the perspective that I took at the end of that film was like that show. It feels justified.
Yeah.
I understand Luthen's perspective. I understand like at the end of this, like at least we got the rebellion. And I know after the fact we'll all judge and be like, oh, that was really messy and that was really evil. But like, do you want a rebellion or not? Yeah. And like that, unfortunately, is the reality of history. It's just like plenty of things in history could have been done better. However, we live in the do the ends justify the means sometimes, and this film couldn't. It didn't know how to wrestle with that. You've got something.
So do you feel like that they were way too protective of the heroism themes that they were trying to show within the soldiers, versus like again like just going there and again like you said showing the negative aspects of what really comes in war, what really might have happened, and things of that sort.
I think it could have added to the story a ton, like the things that weren't in it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad I didn't read the book, in a sense of I enjoyed the movie now, but like I almost don't know if it would change, because like the parts that I don't like that were boring also didn't include the parts from the book, so it's like now a double negative, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it might have brought it down to a 7.5 or an 8, just because I'd be like, man, you could have made these interesting if you made him kind of a bad guy, or made his guys bad guys, and while his wife is at home being dope and setting the law and like waiting for you and really not doing anything, you're over here sleeping with women. Your men are out here being
his
pigs.
speech would have to change too. Like it was just like, oh, I just came and I waited for you. Like it would have to be adjusted.
That's a big one I wanted to know. If unless you guys want to talk about this a little bit,
I wanted to talk about Cersei, just real quick.
Cersei again?
The witch.
Okay.
That's the witch, the pig witch.
Yeah, the pig witch. It just made me realize exactly why, like, black people die first in horror movies, because we don't investigate. Like, we see something wrong and we're going the other direction. Like, they walk past a lion, a tiger, and a panther, not doing anything, just looking at you. That's not a red flag to you? Like, You take off your armor. You see a pile of armor
That's what-
behind
Yeah,
this.
and they see that.
And they
That's what
see
stopped
it.
me.
Yeah, they shouldn't have seen it, and then when they go in, the camera shows it to
pan.
you, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
So you mean to
Yeah.
tell me
Yeah.
some random lady's gonna offer you food? You see a pile of armor,
Yeah.
and you're just like, okay, let's go eat. No,
Let's not
I'm
question
gone,
her
dude.
At all.
Yeah.
I'm gone. As soon as I see a tiger just chilling, not even caring, walking past. I'm walking past. No,
Or bring it up.
I guess.
Or,
Or-
like, why aren't these
No.
animals moving?
No.
You're like,
Dozen
oh,
of
I
us.
trained them.
I guess
Not
they
at
were
all.
blindly following the whole concept of Zeus's law, because that's something that they constantly mention. That okay,
I guess, yeah.
like
That-
because of Zeus's law. I'm
That
here 'cause of
part's
Zeus's law,
true
Zeus's law,
until
Zeus's
you
law.
see the armor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
until you see the armor.
And then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, because
they saw
make-
bones too, right?
I
think
only
They saw
armor.
armor.
I think there was
and swords.
armor
I
and
don't remember
bones.
if They saw bones.
Armor.
But you make us see him see the armor, so it's almost
I
like
saw you see me
Yeah.
see you.
it's like no human would
Yeah, exactly.
see that and not
Mm.
bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't bring it up at all. They still go in, which is like, okay, sure, I guess if you're that hungry.
Yeah.
But then, like...
And they're
yeah,
like, this stew is so good.
Yeah, and it took me a minute. I realized what he did with his camera shots, which was kind of clever. He reversed the footage to make it look like
Oh yeah.
it was going. It was like
Yeah.
going in. I was like, oh, that's kind of clever. It's a good
Interesting.
way of
I
doing
didn't know
that
that.
because like the food was like going up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, that's reversed footage. So that was clever.
Yeah.
He tenanted.
Tenanted.
Yeah,
Confusing me.
he used what he learned from Tenet.
The
but-
question I have for you, a big positive for me, is the whole scene of him talking to his wife, and him reflecting on, we broke a big rule to conquer them, and it caused a lot of dominoes to fall, basically. Like, it caused other people to not respect the law, and now we come back and we need to go back to the law. But that was us. We're the black pirates, right? Or whatever they were.
The people of
black-
the people of the
People
sea.
from the sea.
Yeah, it was them. But his whole speech of like coming to realize like what we did is absolutely wrong, even though we won, but we broke the trust. Like, we gave them a peace offering, and with that we came out, killed we won the war. So what do you think about that?
Anyone else have a comment? I need to gather my thoughts.
'Cause that's a big that whole scene was a big positive for me. Like him.
It was a
talking.
big positive for me because I also thought that just like listening to it, I thought it was a big commentary on modern day as well. Just because I hate to say it, but I was kind of like looking at the Trojan horse is kind of similar in a way to 9/11. Not to get too crazy, but
Jesus, what is up with you today?
Yeah, dude, you're on.
You're like, hey, I'm gonna take these things off the shelf. I'm gonna show you what's in the box and be like, we're not gonna open it. We're gonna put it right back on the box, okay?
no, just
You're on fire today, dude.
No, bro. Okay, so like, I don't want to go too far, but anyway,
You're already-
We're already there.
All right,
We're
go.
opening the fucking box.
all right,
Here to go there with you. I feel
all
like
right. So
9/11
Come on, pilot.
We're in the plane with you right now.
nah. So okay,
I didn't mean that. We're on the ship with you. I'm sorry. We're on the ship. That was a you joke. I didn't even mean that.
Sorry.
Jordell, you just hijacked this conversation.
I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. We're rowing with you right
We're
now.
rowing.
I was not on the
might-
plane. I was in daycare.
You might lose us, but continue.
No, so I just think about his explanation of the idea that basically things that happened at Troy, and the war lasted 10 years, and they break the Zeus's law by offering themselves up and surrendering, and then attacking Troy once they've accepted their surrender, and how that breaks Zeus's law. And I guess while he was talking, I was just kind of thinking about in context of the history of America and everything that happened leading up to something like 9/11. Not saying that what happened in the Trojan horse and 9/11 are exactly the same, but in the sense of like.
Keep going, dude, because I'm waiting for you to.
Oh, anyway, so I was thinking about Hiroshima. and how
This guy, like, you must have just watched a horror film or something, because you.
Are we going to Pearl Harbor maybe too?
No,
What's
no.
going on?
so I was
What are
thinking
your thoughts on World War II? I mean, should we just bring
Oh
all
my
of the
goodness.
things?
I was just thinking about how he was talking. He was like basically alluding to this idea that the history of man, there's always going to be a bite back in a way. Like they were at war, and maybe the war could have ended with them just leaving, right? Or maybe they get defeated a different way. But the way in which they won the war was breaking Zeus's law. And so I was thinking about that in context of real life and America's history and something like Pearl Harbor and 9/11, things like that. Because, yes, obviously America was attacked and then they dropped the bombs of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but wasn't necessary. So then you think about the context of that in a sense of you went too far, and then someone retaliates and goes too far years later, but with 9/11. And that was what I was thinking about while he was talking. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Were you about to say something?
Go ahead. I don't got anything on that.
One thing that I think
We could cut this part out.
no. This is needed. Let's keep this, man. We're gonna try and go for this. Let's go for this. I'll do my best to try and interject.
You're responding to him?
I'm responding.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's all you.
Yeah, this is
bro.
no.
That's
This
all
is
you.
my lane.
Okay.
One thing that I have learned as I've read history and read, like, Thomas Sowell, he's an economist. He's a very good thinker. He's made a big impact on the way that I try to look at a situation. And one of the things that is very useful to calibrate your view of a situation is when working with human beings, you don't just get to work with ideals. You have to work with the alternatives that were in place at the time, right? That is how you would adequately judge a person and how they should have behaved. Not the way it should have happened in this cosmic sense of like, oh, if we just would have done this, but it's like, was that information available to them? Did they have the resources to make that happen? And if they would have tried to do this, what evidence do you have to support that it would turn out the way that you want? And so a way to look back at the past and know whether or not you're looking at it with a proper gauge is you need to look at the alternatives that they had at play. And the alternatives that were at play in the Trojan War would be they continue to tyrannize the rest of the world and control all trade routes, or we do something, right? And so, like, in the Odyssey book, Odysseus, that is one of his crown jewels, is his accomplishment of the Trojan War, is that he actually won. Like, they figured out a clever way to do it. He doesn't apologize for it in the Odyssey. And I think the film does have an interesting perspective, because it's like, I can regret what I did, but I also can be like, it was necessary.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the film's perspective is that it was necessary, but at least according to Homer, the perspective was that was the proper thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think that you can make cases for that in drastic war decisions of like, this keeps happening. If I do this, maybe this giant punch will make everything stop.
Yeah.
And then you make the giant punch and it makes everything stop. And you're like, okay, how many lives would we have lost here, or did we lose here in actuality, and we lost this many lives? How many lives would we have lost if we would have continued the war as usual for 5 to 10 more years?
Yeah.
And the math is extremely clear when you look at it from that perspective.
But that's my point about, I guess, the parallel of that to the bomb, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I guess
Like I think we're kind of agreeing here.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can contemplate this. Like I am more than open to having a conversation of, like, is it justified? Like, is Hiroshima and Nagasaki, is it justifiable? And I feel like I'm open to either side.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's like it did end
the war.
and
Yeah.
that's useful. Like I wouldn't want millions upon millions of people continuing to die on the battlefront for years on end because I would have a potential off button. But the contention that I think most people have is like, we chose non-combatants. Like that's very, like, that's really hard to wrestle with. Right?
Yeah.
But I think in relationship to this film, like, the reason that I feel like I score it a little bit lower is just because, like, it can't help but dilute, like, we can't look at war and be like, yeah, it's messy. It's just like, no, this man has to have remorse. He has to apologize. He has to have a new perspective. Otherwise, like that's his character arc. And then for the women, like, all of them are just tyrannized by men. Like, the mom, her perspective is like, oh, I've been leading this place, but nothing compares to your whiskers. The Helen of Troy is just bullied by John Bernthal, and she apologizes and says, anything that's been done in my name, please, I'm so sorry for. And it's just like, the only perspective this film has is that men are domineering and that women are just, like, in a man's world game. As like, there's no complicitness on the women's part in anything. Like, the Romeo and Juliet aspect of the Helen of Troy, like, we can't imagine, like, there's no way that a woman would fall in love with someone and be willing to let the world burn for her love. But a man would do that, because fucking men. But the woman would feel bad. So the only way a woman would go along with that is if she was trapped.
Yeah.
It's like, do you really think that that's the case? You think that women don't fall in love just as ravishly as men do, and that they aren't enthused by the idea of a prince taking them in their arms, and even though the consequences seem to be grave, the love is so strong. Like, you really think that they were just trapped? Like, I don't know. It just seems a bit naive.
You think Penelope's trapped? That's
I would
trapped
say
in the sense that she wouldn't, like, the argument was like she would never be able to be the leader because she's not a man. Like, I mean, that's the argument that the film takes.
Yeah.
Well, but that's just the times. Like,
Yeah.
she's a queen. She can't take over the throne. I don't
Correct,
see it.
yes.
I don't see it as a like, the other ones are fine. Like Helen of Troy, whatever. Like, I don't see it as a knock on women. I just see it as her in her place for the set time period. Like, she's the queen, and as the queen, she's still in control, kind of, but she's just so in love. I took it more of a passionate way. Like, she's just so in love. She's not taking another lover.
It's weird. I
That's
feel
fair.
like the film tries to have it both ways, where she's complaining
Yeah,
about the fact that
she-
she can't
they
have
do-
power.
they
but then
definitely do.
This is like, what do you want? Do you want us? What does her son ask him? She's like, well, do you want it all to just burn or something? And she's like, I want Odysseus. It's like, okay, you can't.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
Do you want to be the absolute ruler, and do you resent men being at the top, or do you want Odysseus back so that he can be at the top?
And around the conversation before that, she was like, you're not even half the man your father was,
Yeah.
Right. It's just like, you're idealizing men,
Yeah.
and you wish he was back, but then
I've been
the
here
movie
20
needs to
years.
impose.
Where's my flowers? And then she just storms off, I want Odysseus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like you just had this speech and it contradicts itself the moment you say, no, I actually want Odysseus. It's like, so do you resent Whiskers or not?
Interesting.
And so, like, I just feel like the movie is very conflicted in the story that it's actually trying to tell. Like, it doesn't know how to wrestle with the depravity of the human condition outside of the modern lens, which is like, oh man, those men, they definitely knew they were sinning. They definitely, like the women, they definitely were all oppressed. And I'm like, do you really think that the only perspective throughout all of human history is men were ravaging and they knew they were bad, women were being ravaged and they were just victims? Like, is that really the perspective that you think
I see what you're
that
saying.
all of human history is? Like, there's obviously pockets of that, but to explain that as your story, I just don't think that that's the case.
I don't think that's the case either. I just didn't see that for Penelope. I guess I was more focused on her steadfast love for
Yeah.
Odysseus. I didn't really notice the contradictory, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially-
I felt the same way as you. Like, I don't know. I like to consider myself to be a feminist. So in my head, I'm just like, why don't you just be queen? You know, and I feel like it made it weird because she kind of like she kind of takes this stance of like I've been holding Odysseus down this whole time, but at the same time it's like, well, if you feel like you were at least competent, because I think about it from a Game of Thrones sense, right? Like, Cersei knew that she could lead the people, right? But she also understood what she was in, and so she tried to do her best to raise her sons in a way that would take over the kingdom. And so it kind of like, for me, it didn't really make sense that even if you see yourself as this person who could rule and you understand that a man is supposed to rule, why are you kind of like downplaying what your son could be? And you're kind of like you're not really
It's
necessarily
almost like she failed to foster him to
Exactly,
be a competent
exactly,
man because
exactly.
she resents the fact that she can't be the woman, or
Yeah,
Odysseus
yeah.
isn't back, and
So
so
you're
it's just
saying-
like, what are you
Yeah,
as
exactly.
a character? Like, I
Mhm.
don't understand
because
you.
because going back to the Cersei thing,
Yeah.
like, it's like, if you feel like your son is not competent to be king and he's still not of age to be
Yeah,
king,
you need to foster
yeah,
that right
you,
now.
you have to do something to at least get him to that point.
You're saying that line is kind of a reflection on her. It's
Yeah,
more of a diss at herself
yeah.
than anything. But
Yeah.
sure, I agree with that. But I also would have... I don't agree that she should have been... Like, I don't agree that she's the queen. She can just take over, like, just as a feminist standpoint. Because that's
No,
just
I
not-
wasn't necessarily saying
That
that
wouldn't
she
work.
had
that's
it
just
wouldn't
not
work.
the- that's just not the times. Like,
wouldn't
if
be
somebody
possible.
were to come into this movie and come out and be like, bro, why didn't she just take over? It's like that. That's just
No,
you're
I'm
missing
saying
the whole point of
I'm saying that was
the
my initial
times.
thought, but like, obviously I know
Yeah,
that
like,
she couldn't.
Well, also,
I think
don't
we're
even know
getting
if it
into a
would
really
be
weird
in,
conversation.
Yeah, sure, but like, I don't even know if it would be on her mind. The
Right.
fact that the movie brings it up is just like, you probably wouldn't be thinking this.
No, and
That's
I
true.
think we're getting
Yeah.
into a conversation that's like outside of the realm of time that this would have been placed.
Sure.
Of like,
Yeah.
nowadays it's like, well, why doesn't the woman do this? Well, that's fine now. Like, that's more commonplace
It
now.
took
you
it took
have
thousands
to go,
of years to develop.
Yeah,
these
you
ideas.
have to go
Yeah.
into the minds of how society was then. So
Right.
if that's a critique about how the movie is, then you're just hating a period piece, essentially.
Right.
And you will now hate every period piece.
Have you guys seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
I saw it when I was younger, but I don't really remember it that well.
There's a scene where King Arthur is it's so stupid. He is clapping. He takes coconuts and he claps them together.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he's not riding a horse. I don't know. It's a weird joke that the movie takes, but it's really funny. And he's galloping through the field, and he sees a peasant working the field, and he's like, "I am King Arthur," and he's like, "Okay." He's like, "I'm the rightful heir to the throne, and I'm gonna rule this kingdom." And then this peasant is just like, "What if every individual in this country had rights, and it was about the people, and we could all vote in the thing, as opposed to being told that we have this king?" And the reason it's funny is because people wouldn't have thought like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like it's you're like 500 years ahead of your time, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think this. It's not like democracy has always been in the minds of the people, and it like the tyrants have been oppressing the people to prevent it. Those ideas take time to evolve, and like, we are doing that with Anne Hathaway's character. Like,
Yeah.
she has a perspective from a 21st century lens,
Yeah, yeah.
and she's saying things that if a woman from this century were plopped into that, she'd be like, "I don't have whiskers. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I've been leading this place." But
Yeah.
realistically, her lens would be, "I am holding this fort for my husband.
Right.
He will return." And that would be her sole focus.
And she would be called
most
brainwashed
likely.
nowadays.
Yeah,
Like-
we would call
like-
her brainwashed
Yeah, yeah,
nowadays.
yeah.
But, like, you can't call it brainwashed when there's no
No, that's
alternatives
just
for you to
that's what
think
your
through.
mother did. That's what her mother
Right.
did. Like, it's just
Yeah.
tradition. Traditions will break eventually, but I feel like that would be something that people now would say is like, "Oh my gosh, here they go, making a woman that can only just be there for her man or
Right.
just longing for her love back.
Right.
When, like, to me, that's such an admirable thing. I think that's the best part about her character is, like, she sat there. She didn't give in to any of these men, even though her husband gave her the green light. And she would have been justified in the times doing it. Like, you made her so strong and so disciplined that she's like, I'm not just going to sell out. Like, I'm going to have Odysseus back. And if not, well, then something else is going to happen.
Right,
And
but then
Tom
the film
Holland-
doesn't commit to that.
No.
It
I-
gives
I-
its contradictions
after
because
you
it
guys
doesn't want to
saying,
say that.
I can hear it now.
needs to give the feminist perspective, and it's just like, guys, you can't have it both ways. You've got to make a decision. It's just like, is she committed to her husband, or is she a modern 21st century woman with all of the opinions and competence of a typical male, and she could have ran it, but the males are keeping her down? Like,
and has that type of ambition as
yeah,
well.
it's contradictory storytelling.
Sure.
Like, and one of the things, like, I feel like I'd like to comment on this, and I know in relationship to the Helen of Troy aspect of it, because she apologizes for the pillaging that gets done on behalf of her name.
Yeah. I also think that's another thing that just would not.
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't
she
have
loved
happened.
him, and she looked like an oppressed creature in this film, and it's so annoying. They gave her scars, and it's so weird because, like, love stories, traditional love stories that make money nowadays, are those. Our love is so strong, we'll burn everything down no matter what. Like that movie that won Best Actress last year, the
Hamnet?
No,
No,
was it Hamnet?
Was it? You talking about the one with
The girl who was a stripper,
Leonardo
Honora?
DiCaprio and
Honora?
Honora.
Yeah. That was 2
Like,
years ago.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So she, like, their love is so ravenous that it comes at the cost of everything around them. They'll burn down empires for it. It's just like, guys, that's fucking Helen of Troy story.
Yeah.
Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, we're fine with it if it's like at the cost of the male patriarchy,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, wow, look at this love, and it's tearing down families, it's tearing down the system, it's tearing down everything that we. But then this is like, when we look back at women back then, it's just like, oh, they were probably oppressed. Why?
Yeah.
Do you think that do you think that because Nolan is a man that he, I don't want to say pander because pander's not the word, but do you think that he at least attempted to cater to women but didn't necessarily know how to do it correctly?
I think you tried to cater to
I mean, he used the
21st
translation.
century.
He used a feminist translation.
That's what I mean. Like,
with
do
the
you
perspective,
do
which
you
had
think
this
he used a feminist translation but didn't do it the way I guess would have made more sense for the movie, or I guess the time?
I think that's what we're
I
saying.
think the translation had an explicitly stated purpose of trying to put a modern view on a classic tale.
Yeah.
And that modern view contradicts the tale. And so by using that, you're making a movie with contradictions. I don't know. I would be interested in hearing why he chose that
Yeah.
that version, like why that translation. But just wanted to make sure it's still recording.
Yeah, it's still recording.
Well, because we had to do the timing thing last week.
Oh. No,
I'd be interested
because
in
I
hearing
switched
why he
to.
did that, but I think it's just
Yeah.
it's a cost of using that source material.
Yeah. That's fair.
How about you, Jay? Has any of this brought your 10 down?
No, I think that I think this is more so opening me up to all different interpretations that you can get from the movie.
Perspectives,
Because what I'm thinking is that I'm taking a step back and I'm not.
You think
going
we dived too deep?
No.
Okay.
Because I think that what you guys are saying is definitely valid. But at the
I
same
know.
time, you got to take a step back and realize, like, okay, she's like, okay, I'm going to be the queen. She ain't got no warriors there. He took everybody with her, or he took everybody with him. Only person that he has left there is his son that can't fight. Right. So she goes, oh, okay, I'm going to be the queen. And movie's over in like 45 seconds. Like, oh, okay, that's what you. Yeah. So
yeah.
that I feel like that's something that's why he kind of went about it that way. Is like, okay, like I've been here for all these years and I'm still not good enough to be the leader of this area, because if I become the leader, what they will do to me just to, you know, overtake the place, because that's all they care about. They don't care about me. They don't care about you. They care about taking over this kingdom and this area that we have. So I think that, like you said, they kind of wanted to play both sides, like walk the line kind of in terms of what they wanted to tell in terms of the story. But then also, you know, in reality's sake, if we're going to go in reality, if she does go, okay, well, I'm going to be the queen, like in today's age, I'm going to be the queen again. Robert Pattinson's like cleaning that up in a couple seconds. It's
Right.
over with.
Yeah, and
so.
you're like, oh, you're the queen? Okay. I'm the king.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do about it? It's like,
right.
and that would not be to justify what Patterson's character would do. It's just it's a reality of the time. But like that is also not the ideal of what the story would be trying to say. Like the reason that I feel like the last hour is so important is because it is about the competent, righteous male returning home.
Right.
Because the movie's perspective is not Robert Pattinson is the ideal of masculine values. It's like, nope, that's a bad human. Like, and we will prove it by killing him, right?
Yeah.
Like the ideal is someone who, in a sense, a positive aspect of him regretting the Troy is he is a person who is capable and able to reflect and change, like so, which is a necessary component for ideal leadership. And so, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, this movie's such a... The fact that I got bored is one of the things that I'm like, I want people to watch this movie, but I also am like, I feel like Christopher Nolan was not the right choice for it. He was the right choice in the sense that I don't know how many other people would have been able to make it at the scale that he did.
Yeah.
But he was the wrong person for the sake of his own creative limitations, and then because he chose the wrong source material.
It also just bothers me, in a sense of, it bothers me how far he strays from the mythical, mythical and the magic of the story itself. It's a Greek mythology story.
Yeah,
like
Zendaya was not godlike in that.
Not godlike at any point.
I also didn't think she was good.
I didn't either.
I mean,
She was annoying.
she wasn't in the movie enough to have.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I didn't buy any of her lines.
Yeah.
Until I thought she was best at the end when she started
When
crying.
she was killed?
Yeah.
When she got beheaded.
But
no,
no.
when she was crying with him holding.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was her best part. When she talked, I was just like, I don't believe you.
And apparently in the original, because like I Googled this afterwards, in the original, Athena is on Odysseus' side. She thought that was very clever and witty of him to do what he did in Troy. And in this movie, she's like, what did you do?
Yeah.
And he now has to make amends with her. And she doesn't, so it's just strange.
Yeah.
Like, this
It was
movie is
interesting.
very
It
weird.
it just bothered me, and I guess Christopher Nolan's not as whimsical as someone who should be directing Greek mythology, in my opinion. But it just took away from and it goes back to what Jordell was saying about The Dark Knight, is that you don't go into this like he didn't even remember that this was a Greek mythological story. So like, it's like the movie's really good, but at the same time, it just doesn't feel as mystical as it should be. And that's just, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because like I'm like into like Percy. I was like, as a kid, I was like into like Percy Jackson and Harry Potter and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's just something about it that just like made me, I don't want to say sad, but
A little disappointed.
A little, a little disappointed.
You don't feel like you're in the world of gods.
Exactly. That's what that's exactly my point.
But this feeling, like, and I don't really, I had it because I didn't know the movie was even Greek,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the feeling that the Dark Knight trilogy gives us.
Yeah.
That's that.
Like,
feeling.
I feel more, they're not good movies, but like the Clash of the Titans movie and the Wrath of the Titans movie, I feel like those are better. Those better depict a Greek mythological story than this one does. And they both exist in the Greek mythology. So it's like...
Yeah, like I don't believe Charlize Theron was a god.
Exactly.
This is like, who are you? She's just a woman. They're like, oh, it's Calypso. Oh, that sounds like an epic name.
Yeah.
But what
You're talking
are
about
you?
the woman on the sand?
Yes,
Yeah.
she was literally a god. We were I was talking about my wife was talking about that, and she didn't know that Calypso was a god.
Yeah.
She thought she was a regular woman.
I thought she was a regular woman that was
Exactly.
like, over like dosing him with
Yeah,
White Lotus
exactly.
flowers, just having tripping. That's what I
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the feeling you get with the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
To back it up.
I get
and
that.
And I don't, old me, like kid me, would have watched this and been like, where's like the Greek. I would have cared more about the Greek. Now, not as much, but like I understand what he's saying so much, and maybe that's just a Nolan thing. Maybe
I think it is a
too
Nolan
realistic.
thing, and I don't necessarily think. I just think it doesn't work when it comes to adaptations. Like Interstellar doesn't have this problem, or Tenet doesn't have this problem. The
Inception.
Prestige doesn't have this problem. Yeah, so like I just think when it comes to adaptations, I think he's such a literal thinker, and he's like into time and psychology and philosophy and things like that,
Right.
that it just doesn't. I think it just takes away from the aspects of adapting things that are mythical and have fantasy elements to them.
Yeah, like it'd be interesting to see him like direct like a Superman movie.
Yeah.
Like an actual superhuman.
Yeah,
Like something that's not grounded.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it'd be
Yeah,
very
where like you have to
interesting.
lean into the fantastical
You
elements
have
of
to.
this. You're not allowed to
Yeah.
try and make it
He
grounded.
Yeah.
for you.
flies. He has
Yeah.
laser eye. Like,
Mhm.
what are you gonna do with that character to
Yeah.
make him a human, basically?
yeah.
Yeah.
And he would, yeah. That'd
Well,
be
he
very
was a
interesting.
producer on Man of Steel.
Then he counts for that pile.
That's why all of those buildings fell.
That's probably why.
So an aspect that I took a different perspective on for watching, and this is one I really want to talk with you about, is all of you guys, obviously. But
Yeah,
you
because we're all here,
specifically.
Jordell.
Yeah.
I
It's
feel
not
you
just
dream
Dino.
about me. It's really weird.
He just
I
loves
feel
you,
like I
bro.
walked out of the theater and I was thinking, what will Chino think? He's like, what is wrong with you? Why am I in your head?
Because you just your thoughts are just so interesting.
The most interesting man in the world. Wait, what
I
was that?
reject that.
What was that? What was that?
That was a liquor.
Yeah.
The most interesting
Man in the world.
Oh, liquor?
It was a commercial.
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis, yeah.
Yeah, it was a commercial. And it was a
He didn't
running
watch.
bit.
He didn't watch TV when he was younger. So
What's TV?
What are we doing the podcast on? So all of the, obviously this is to Greek gods. Obviously this is to Greek mythology, right? There was a lot of things that as a Christian I appreciated and saw, and I don't think 2 years ago I would have appreciated and seen, and I think would have probably lowered my liking of the movie.
Interesting.
So the first one that popped out that I almost turned to you was like when she was like, you need to just get on the raft, get in the water, give up control, let God do, because she didn't even say Zeus or the gods. She just said God, but obviously she meant Zeus. Let God take control. Like, you need to just let go. Stop trying to control everything in your life. And like that like hit me like, dude, that's so like, that's Christianity. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Another one was like the whole, there's Zeus's law, but the beggar, like treat the beggar, because you never know. And that's another thing is like that homeless person could be Jesus, like God, like you when you bless the homeless person, you're blessing
You've done
God
it unto
above.
me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was so much of that I was just like appreciating, because it was like if you saw this with like a Christian group, you could see their appreciation for kind of the messages in the movie. And like, so I sat there and I was just like, wow, that's super powerful. So that was when it started hitting me. But then that's the last hour is when he goes on the raft, when you start seeing that stuff. So I think it just tied into when the movie actually got good. But yeah, I don't know. I just really appreciated that, because it just was, I think that's what bumped it up. I just hit it. It just hit a different zeitgeist for me,
Right.
of reality. And I was just like, wow, that's super powerful, the message in it. But
What do you guys think?
no, I mean I agree 100%. After you had brought that up to me, it really made me think about, I guess, your journey as a Christian, and sometimes you try to do stuff yourself, you know, and there is this I guess the main ethos or whatever of being a Christian is you wrestle a lot with what you want out of your life, what you expect out of your life, and what you have planned for your life, and that all three of those things aren't necessarily aligned with what God wants for you. And so there is this prophecy, so to speak, of there is an end of the road and all leads one way, and that one way is heaven. But there are things that are going to happen that you're not going to like, that you're not going to agree with. And Odysseus was told that, like, when he went to hell, he's like, all your men are going to die.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, like, I'm not going to let it happen. And it happens anyway. And so then, as, like, I mean, I'm speaking for myself in my life, like, I've been in situations where there's things that I wanted to do, and then I get to a point and I realize, oh, this is just not what it was meant to be. And all roads lead back to one way, and that is to allow God to just do his will in your life. And it gets to that point. And so I it's a really interesting illustration of that when you think about the fact of, like, there are scriptures in the Bible that tell you and help you understand what you're supposed to do, but then there's a reality of life of, yeah, I've read this, I understand it, I've sat on this, but in this moment, I just can't, like, fully absorb it and let my anxieties and my worries and all that stuff go away and just, like, truly just let God. And so then you do something and then you stray away in some way, shape, or form. And I thought, I don't know, I really like that illustration of it, because he goes through all that and gets to a point where all he has left to do is to build a raft, get on it, and whatever happens, happens. And so it's interesting because there's also a point in the book where they get close to Ithaca, to a point where they can see Ithaca from a boat.
Is that the home?
They're almost home. And at some point, Odysseus is gifted a bag of wind. And I can't remember who gifted it to him, but he's gifted this bag of wind, and they're, like, almost home already. And his men open up the bag of wind because they think that he's hiding something from them. They think that he's hiding gold or whatever, riches from their war. And it turns out to just be a bag of wind to help them get home if they ever need it. And it blows them back years in the other direction. And I think about that in a sense of just, like, expanding on this idea of sometimes you're so close to redemption, so to speak, or a goal that you really want, but then something happens because you don't necessarily take the steps to continue to trust in what's God's plan for you, and then all of a sudden you're kind of back to square one. And so
it's kind of like the arc in the Exodus story where the Israelites, if you were to map out from Egypt to the Promised Land, it's a very short distance, but it takes 40 years for them to get there. It's not the distance. There's a readiness.
Yeah.
And
just like Odysseus, he wasn't ready to go home.
Yeah.
Another scene where I feel like I wish I would have seen him go down the whirlpool, and what would have happened to him down the whirlpool.
Mm-hmm.
The literal whirlpool.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's where he went.
Well, we saw that in Pirates of the Caribbean, so.
Yeah, but, like, I feel like you could have had a journey maybe once again in Hades or whatever. Like, I don't know if the book.
I can't.
What happens in the book when he lets go? Because I was just like, this is a very profound moment when he lets go.
Yeah.
But then, like, I feel like there is a
I think he does go into the whirlpool in the books.
And there's probably a scene of him meeting someone, whether it's the devil or death or something, and he has to be, and he sees it from a new lens and he transforms.
So the other
he just skips to him being on the shore, and I'm like, damn it! Like there's so much material that you could go there, even if it wasn't in the book. It's just like, what happens to a man when he goes voluntarily into death in a world of gods and monsters? How do you visualize that, and how do you get him to the shores? Like that is
that's one thing I really did not. I guess, like, I wanted more from it because. Okay, so first of all, Calypso doesn't want to let him go in the books. She's told by
Zeus.
Zeus. I'm pretty sure it's Zeus.
Athena pleads with Zeus, and Zeus demands
that she lets.
Did you read the Cliff Notes?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, this dude knows a lot about a book he didn't read.
Well, he did get through college, so.
Just download data, random data throughout your college degree.
No, but so. And the fact that there's no kid there to like leave again is kind of annoying. But I would have just wanted to see that journey home just a little bit more, like you're talking about with the whirlpool, like.
And there was a journey in the book.
Yeah, Yeah. So
Yeah, and even if there weren't, like, this is an example of, like we talked about,
yeah.
if a movie
Deviating.
is going to get remade, you could, as the storyteller, be like, oh man, Homer didn't explore this.
Exactly.
I think how to expand this story.
Yeah.
And you get to justify the ingredients
because
that Homer
you know
missed.
I'm thinking about, because it would have led to the realization that he has with his wife even better, in my opinion. Because if he basically backtracks through everything that he went through with his men by himself, realizing what really happened in the war, what really happened in their journey home, and like really taking it in and getting to the shores of Ithaca and realizing we did this all wrong, I think it would have even it would have just made the movie better. I don't necessarily know if I don't know. I think it would have made the movie better.
No, I agree. Like, when it's very hard to get a character into the position of they're like dead and have to be reborn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very hard, like in most movies it's very hard to do that, like Harry Potter in the rail station with Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Is a really good example. There's other times where
Daredevil was born again.
no, it's not a good example.
Bad show.
But like where there's an actual death and a
Yeah,
rebirth,
yeah.
and that rebirth leads to a transformation
Jon
where
Snow.
you bring back something that you needed,
Mhm.
and that transforms you. Like that, this is a very important motif, and the movie skips over that. Like, we know he went through a transformation by going into the water, and he skips over that. And you're like,
Yeah.
bro, like, you spend like so many minutes showing me buildings burning in Troy over and over and over, and you spend like 15 minutes on this Cyclops, and I'm bored. But then, like, when we get to the most important aspect of a character's transformation, which is I am voluntarily letting go of the control that I have on my life, and I'm going to potential death, and you're like, yep, he made it. You're like, okay, thanks. It's just such a letdown. You're like, why would you glaze over that material? I just feel like you would have to go into things that would be in a sense like mythological, and Nolan doesn't do that. So it's just like, yeah, he made it.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing if Nolan didn't make this movie, it might have been even better.
Should have been Greta
It could have been
Gerwig.
worse because like he took
No, it
this
could have
serious,
been.
like he
Sure.
really
Yeah.
put his passion into
Yeah,
this
yeah.
project. It's just like there are things that he did where it's like, God, you
The
were
thing
not the right
the thing
person
that
for
kind of sucks about Hollywood, and it is like Hollywood is a lot smaller than we give it credit to be, realistically. And so it sucks because the only people who can make movies are people who are in Hollywood, and there's more people not in Hollywood than are. And so, yeah, like, we can look at it and say there's probably someone who could have done it better.
Right.
But at the same time, is there someone in Hollywood who could have made it better?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be
There's
interested
more
in seeing
people.
what Denis Villeneuve would have done.
I mean, yeah, I'd
I
be
think
down
he
as
probably would
yeah,
have done a better job.
yeah.
Who's that?
Dune guy,
Oh,
Well, he's never
Rival
seen
guy,
Dune.
Blade Runner 2049.
Never
guy.
seen Sicario. He's never seen.
Sicario.
Bro, this guy's he's a really good storyteller
Blade
with a
2049
question
was
mark
good.
on Dune.
Blade Runner. Sorry.
You said what?
Blade Runner was good.
2049.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
Alright, guy.
People shit on it, but
People
I
did.
liked
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
The one with Ryan, right?
Mhm.
Gosling.
I think
Yeah.
I liked
My Black
his
Panther?
comfort
Yeah.
with things that
Wakanda.
like even like when we are about to find out that he is not the child.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
There's like it's like 45 seconds of him walking and the music's blaring and you're just like, you know that it's just going to lead to him finding the answer is you're not the child.
Yeah.
But it's just like he stretched that and I was
Is
really
Den-
like, man,
is
this is really
Denis-
cool.
Is Denis Oblivion too?
No.
No.
No, he is Arrival. And,
Who directed Oblivion?
You're talking Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah.
I
don't think
remember
he was that.
watching Blade Runner, liking it, and then people didn't like it. And that's one of the first movies I was really confused. I was like, why
Yeah.
do people not like this movie?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of all I have.
Oh no. Oblivion's the same guy who directed F1.
F1's
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it.
He doesn't
I
like
don't.
it.
I don't not like it. I have just a very strong editing problem with it at the very end.
Oh yeah.
At the end?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, first of all, okay, so they tell you, okay, first,
The best scene in the movie
Okay.
he hates.
the best scene of the movie could have been better. So first, I don't like it when people spell stuff out for you.
I
And
do agree with that.
And
I do
so
agree with
they're
that.
like,
Exactly.
"What's he doing? He's flying. Fuck off."
I agree
we
with that.
know
I
he's
agree with that.
flying
I agree
because
with
he
that. I
said
agree
he
with
would be flying when that happens. Don't tell me he's flying.
You got me there. You
Trust
got me there.
the audience. We're not
I
morons.
hate when they do that.
One
That's one thing I
second.
hate. No, I agree with that.
Don't
1000%.
hold my hand.
Exactly.
Trust me.
Yeah.
You showed this to me 40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's not that long ago. And for the people who forget, it's fine.
I'm down. I love F1, but
And
that
then the
yeah.
other thing is
Amazing
when he
scene.
describes the moment, he says everything goes silent. Everything, it's just me and the road, or however he describes it.
And
And
it
it's not
was.
silent. There's music in it. And I'm like, guys,
I
No, there
guess.
wasn't
I
music.
guess.
there's something
No,
there.
no. There was like a. It was like a rocket. It was like.
No, it was him driving.
There's something.
It was like a rocking
It wasn't
sound. It was like-
silent. And I'm like, guys, it should have been silent.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with
Then you
that.
hit.
No.
I don't
Why
know.
would you? Why would you add the sound? You told me what this moment was going to be, and you lied.
I
And then
thought
you
it was-
reminded me what you told me it would be
I
by
thought it would
telling
be.
me he was
it-
flying.
I thought it'd be way cooler. You're hearing the wheels go against
That's
the
not
gravel.
silence. You don't hear anything in silence. And he told us it was silence. He should have
But it-
said,
gosh.
"You hear nothing but the wheels," and then it'd be like, "Okay,
No, that's
we
not a
heard
cool
nothing but the wheels."
line.
He said it was silence, so I
not a
should
cool
get to
line.
experience what he experiences.
Gosh, dang.
God.
You suck. You suck.
But then when he said that, like, Christopher Nolan fucking Dark Knight Rises in this movie, where he's just like, "Promise me in the end we'll do nothing but pursue the western sun and this
Oh
like the
my
western
goodness.
setting
I'm
sun."
not
I'm
gonna
like,
lie.
okay, and Alfred's gonna be there, and your guys are gonna nod, right?
I'm not gonna lie. I
Like,
didn't.
I really wish
I was over it
when they
after
got
that.
on that boat.
Is that
and
what
they,
happens in the
they
book?
pursued the
No.
setting sun.
In the
We
book,
would have gotten the guy, Michael Keaton, and he would have been on the boat, and he looked at Odysseus and went like this.
no. In
what
the
happens at the end of the book?
in the book, he stays and he becomes king, and he just
Of
takes
course
over.
he did.
I think that or him dying would have been better.
I would have wanted him to die. I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted him to die.
No,
I
that-
thought
You
that
didn't want him to
It was
go
so-
to the
No.
river
No.
lands
so
with the
powerful.
elves.
Nope.
Yeah, that,
Nope.
that felt like a huge sharp turn left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they left, yeah.
One of my
I didn't like
He
one
should
thing I
have-
hate one thing I hate about modern movies is that people don't die as much, and it bothers me so much.
Is it that people don't die, or that there aren't consequences for action?
I think it's
Find both? Yeah.
Because I don't like.
Like Gwen. So Amazing Spider-Man 2
Are
is
you-
not that
don't
good of a
do-
movie,
don't-
but
don't
I
do this.
love the fact that they killed Gwen.
Yeah,
I loved
agree
it.
That, well,
the best
because
scene
it was a
in the movie.
character developing moment.
But so I actually wrote a paper in college about how I believe that Gwen Stacy's death led to the ending of Infinity War. Influenced the ending of Infinity War. I
Hot
don't
take.
think if Gwen Stacy would have died, they would have ended it with the heroes losing. The way they did, at least.
Maybe.
You're saying it gave permission to
Yeah,
kill heroes,
exactly.
or for them to lose.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean that's it'd be almost unfalsifiable, but it's an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
Going back
Because
to the Odyssey,
because Infinity War wouldn't have been the first
No,
version to
not
do it,
not
right?
that,
So,
not
like,
that. But I just
the
meant
fact that Spider-Man did it gave
Yeah.
permission to be like,
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
like, audiences can't
Yeah.
handle
Could've.
this.
I do
Yeah.
feel like we need to see more movies with bad guy wins.
yeah, exactly, 100%.
Well, I feel like that should be a lot. Like bad guys win, and then they.
Yeah, look at
Avengers-
America.
What's annoying
There's a
for me
team
is
called
like
the
you don't
Avengers.
get to write scenes that would lead to death, and they don't.
I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
glad.
So
I'm
if
glad
you're
you
gonna
heard
write
me.
a scene where like, oh, this guy would be dead, and then it's like, no, but then the movie's over, and it's just like, then you don't get to have the scene.
Yeah.
You don't get to tell me he's allergic to cheese, and then
Yeah.
he gets fed cheese,
And he
and
doesn't.
then nothing happens.
Yeah.
You're like, oh well, that then he would die, and you're like, yeah, you're the one who set the rule that says he dies when he eats cheese,
Yeah, you
and then
have
you
to
fed
abide.
him cheese.
That's why.
Fuck
That's
off.
another reason why I was glad. That's another reason why I was glad they killed Iron Man because the idea of Thanos.
No, they didn't. They're bringing him back
Oh,
in
my
December.
Because the idea of Thanos being able to snap twice and like be basically crippled, the Hulk snapping and losing an arm, and a human snapping and not dying. I was like,
no, that would be a good.
I was like,
yeah.
bro, there's no way. I was gonna be pissed if he didn't die.
He was bound to die. That movie was bound to kill
He's
somebody.
Dyron Man.
But I will stand on the hill that Doctor Strange sacrificed him to save the multiverse.
Okay.
I believe it.
Stand on that hill.
I will not
You said
give
what?
Marvel
You
credit for
You don't believe that?
creativity
I
when
don't.
they don't
I
do
don't
that
Doctor
anymore.
Doctor Strange sacrificed Tony Stark. He did it.
How did Doctor Strange sacrifice him? Iron Man made the decision.
No. He manipulated him to make that decision because he saw the multiverse.
The Doctor works in mysterious ways.
You expect me to believe there was only one way? There is only one way Tony Stark dies and doesn't destroy the multiverse.
And it's actually wrong that there's only one way. Based
off of Multiverse of Madness.
Because they defeated Thanos a second way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they destroyed their own logic with I'm not
Endgame
totally on
broke
his
a
side.
lot.
Yes, he is.
But I
Doctor
am
Strange
helping
sacrificed
him
Tony Stark.
Because in another alternative universe that he would have seen,
Doctor
they
Strange
defeated
sacrificed
Or they
Tony
defeated
Stark.
Thanos.
I do want to I don't know if we should go back to this, but you were making commentary on like the religious motifs that reminded you of Christianity, and you said that you were dreaming about my thoughts.
Yeah,
but I didn't hear a question.
Just kind of your thoughts on just your thoughts on my like interpretation, or not even interpretation, but just like perception of it.
Yeah,
or,
I mean, one of the things that I learned from Jordan Peterson was that essentially my assumption now is that things that last a long time probably have a lot of depth, and so like this story is no exception. Like, there's a reason
hit different notes, I guess.
What?
Is that what you're saying? It has enough depth to kind of hit different.
Well, no, it wouldn't last thousands of years, and people wouldn't continue to tell this orally for it to make it into print and then last in print for thousands of years, right?
Yeah.
Unless the story was hitting on some form of truth of the human condition.
Yeah.
The ones that make it the longest, you should assume it's probably really deep and you don't understand it.
Yeah.
So like it's a good assumption for things like religious texts that there's some reason it was preserved. And so like I learned that like just listening to his analysis on like Egyptian mythology, like there's so much wisdom in the Egyptian stories, which is like the Egyptian story of the lion is essentially like almost the story of Lion King, where there is a king who has a brother. That brother kills him, sends him down into the underworld. The person who's dead had a son. That son rescues his father by going down into the underworld, giving him an eye so that the father is no longer blind, and they come up and rule together. And the son is the person who has eyes around all of his head. And you're like, Jesus, what does this mean? And it's something like the father was the right ruler, but he did not have the ability to see. He was betrayed by his jealous brother, which is essentially people will the men in the Odyssey, like that is that guy. It's the people who just want the throne because it's the throne.
Yeah.
Like, and if you don't pay attention, you will be killed. Like, this is what Caesar went through in Planet of the Apes. Like, it is an eternal story. Power will always be tried to be taken from weak men. You have to pay attention to that, right?
The Game of Thrones.
Yes, Game of Thrones does a good job at illustrating this. And the only way that you can rescue competent power is by giving it the ability to see. And the son gives his father one of his eyes because his father didn't see the corruption of his brother. And it's just like, Jesus, what a story. And then Lion King is essentially that. You've got Mufasa, a competent ruler. He's betrayed by his brother because he didn't see. And the son has to wrestle with that and take over. It's not quite the full story the way the Egyptians have, but it is it's got a lot of the ingredients, right? There's a reason we remember Lion King. It's because it's basically the Egyptian story. There's a reason we remember the Egyptian stories. It's because those stories are telling an eternal truth of what it means to act in the world as human beings. And so, like, when I hear, like, this poem has lasted such a long time, I'm like, yeah, that means there's a lot of meat here. And so when I watched it, it's just like, and I saw Odysseus go back into the water, I'm like, man, like, that hit hard for me. Like, I know what that feels like, where it's like I've tried to control things for so long. And, like, it's part of Odysseus's charm. It's almost, it is the reason that Athena admires him in the original stories. It's like he is so clever. Like, so it's not just a character flaw. It's also his asset. He can deny and defy the gods, but to a point. There's also a point where he has to surrender. And so it's just like he's the type of man who can defy the gods and surrender to the gods at the same time. Like, what type of person is that? And I know what that feeling is, where it's just like I sometimes demand things of myself And I have to give myself permission to just be like, it's not time to do that right now.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I'm not a failure for not doing that right now. And that's okay. And then maybe by letting go of that, I actually become the type of person who could do that, who could
Right.
do it properly, rather than like forcing myself to do it. And so like that really reminded me of those moments where I do that. And so like I loved that part of this story. And
Yeah.
I loved
I think that's like what kicked off the best part.
it is, yeah.
Yeah,
The moment
for
he got
sure.
on that raft, it's
Yeah,
like this movie
yeah.
just turned
And
on.
there was a whole like
Yeah.
basically hour left, and then it just got better and better.
Yeah. What'd you think of the dog scene?
Loved it. Wait, at
Which
the
one?
end.
That yeah, like they're like, I think he's waiting for his master to return, and
that's
then
another
he
one I
pets
was
his
gonna-
doggy,
Yeah.
that's
and
another
then the
one.
dog
I
immediately
think Tom
dies.
Holland's performance was really good, really good. Not like great, but I don't think he did. I honestly think he was kind of held back. Like I don't think they.
Yeah,
it wasn't
I
his
agree.
best performance ever.
No. And I don't think Nolan allowed him to kind of give it. Like I think he was kind of held back.
I agree
as a
with that,
secondary
yeah.
Character. I think it would have been interesting to see him kind of.
I think there could have
more.
been. I think there could have been more contrast between Telemachus and Robert Pattinson's character, because there was this. I don't know, because I just feel like Nolan didn't allow him to like truly, I guess, like rival him in scenes. Like it really just felt like it was just Pattinson antagonizing.
Pattinson is a bad person.
Yeah.
It's really all you get.
Yeah, that's all you
but
get.
Who
Yeah.
is he
Compared to Tom
compared
Holland.
to?
Yeah,
him?
compare it to him. And so, I mean, you kind of got it really quick with him letting the beggar in, but you didn't really get to see the
both
true
times.
You
Right.
didn't really
Like,
get to
why
see
is
the
he the right
exactly
person on the throne
Mhm.
as opposed to Robert
Yeah.
Pattinson?
Yeah.
And I agree. There was no exploration there.
But with that scene specifically, like him struggling, like it was weird. I didn't even notice this until after. His father's been gone for 20 years. He was like 5 or whatever. My father did pass away 20 years ago. So like I didn't even connect that.
Wait, so
so
the
close.
Odyssey was about you?
Yes, I'm Telemachus. What's his name?
Telemachus.
Telemachus. No, but I.
Jordelicus.
Jordelicus. But it was just,
Telemachus
crazy
Jordelicus.
because like everybody perceives his father. My father is passed, but everybody perceives his father as dead. He's never met his father for 20 years, and then at this scene where he thinks this guy just served with his father, he goes up to the dog. I thought it was a very nice way of setting that
Yes.
match, and he pets the dog, and the tail goes down. He goes to sleep, and he's like bury.
He didn't
him
go to
wherever.
sleep. He
Or
died.
he died. Yeah, bury him. He got unalive.
The dog is dead, guys.
He got buried
Killed.
somewhere. Well, he wasn't. But the dog go bury him somewhere, and he stands up. And like Tom Holland was really good at just showing like the emotion of like
This is my father.
this is Vader. Like this is my father, right? Like his eyes start tearing up. Like I just thought that whole scene.
Yeah.
And then even Odysseus still not acknowledging it, like but in a backwards way, saying yes. And he was just like welcome home. And he
It would
just
have
turned
been
around.
nice. I do agree that it would be nice to have like it didn't hit like Odysseus wasn't like taking it in that he was with his son for the first time.
Yeah.
Like it was just like he
It's not his
and he
first
was like
time.
he was dead set on what he needed to do, so in a sense that's kind of nice, but it would be nice to show like
For them to have that moment.
yeah, rather than
Yeah.
just being like it and if you were, then he'd be really proud of you. And it's like
But
okay,
I thought that was enough.
did you?
Yeah, just because it
Okay.
was just right. It's literally right before he's about to go
Yeah.
inside. So like, there's not really a moment of him being able to do.
It just didn't feel emotional. I didn't feel anything.
Oh, I felt it.
okay.
Like that's one of the few times I felt I was like, wow, this is heavy. But it was more so Tom's perspective of it, of him seeing the dog and like just being frozen, just because it's not frozen of fear. It's like frozen of like no way, this is my dad.
Yeah.
That one hit me.
No way. Home.
That one hit me. Did you guys?
So does that remind you of Auschwitz? Did you want to like bring some?
I did.
So, have you ever seen The Boy in the Striped Pajamas?
I don't know where you're gonna
Yeah,
bring this. So.
I got nothing. Except
guys-
for the beginning of X-Men when Magneto was in Auschwitz.
Did you guys tear up at all at this movie?
I teared up at when he got into the water. Like I just was just like,
Yeah,
man,
same,
like, this
same.
is a really powerful moment.
It's
Like,
it was a very good message to men.
yeah.
I feel like
I think I
specifically.
teared up 3 times. I don't cry or tear up.
I
like,
I
ever.
love seeing a story of a strong man, like
strong white man.
And then him,
especially the fact that he's white, man. Like, geez, if they
And
would have
then
done Michael B. Jordan, it would have fucked it up.
I would have walked out. It would have been a 0 out of 10.
It would have been Jordicious.
You don't think Jordan could lead Ithaca?
But him being like a strong male, but then also like getting vulnerable too, like allowing himself to not be that was I think it was that. Oh, it was that. It was kind of the Tom thing, and then when he's talking to his wife, that one got me.
Line.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. The talking to the wife was a bit for me.
It got me. That
The talking to the wife got me.
I was.
I think
I was in it. I don't know what it did, but I was.
I feel like it does sound like Christopher Nolan was like, okay, what if when he was there, he realized that there was 10 years of savagery in a single night, and what if when he was there, like, and they're like, these are the things that I want the character to go through, and then he's like, oh shit, those are his lines, and you're like, okay, sure.
Interesting.
I don't know. It just felt like the list of the things that the character arcs needed to accomplish, and he's like, I could just say his character arcs.
Yeah.
Like, that could work, and so it was fine, but I don't know. It did feel very...
I thought the Athena part was strong at the end. The cutting of the head, and then the statue, but then it's the woman, but it's not really the woman. Like, she presented herself as that, and then she's there, and then she's not. That was her best performance of the whole movie to me. Besides,
dude, Zendaya she just be collecting bread, dude. She's
everywhere,
bro. She just be collecting checks, man. She was barely in this movie, and I know she got paid too.
well,
Just walking around and just
Elliot Page,
bro. Even the first Dune movie, bro, she just collected.
For
money.
She was big in
5
Dune
minutes,
too, but still, the first one, bro. She
Helen
was
of Troy got 1.5.
I've been contemplating whether or not I just want to dig into the casting. Do we want to talk about casting?
No.
I was upset until they weren't in it too much. Or no, I wasn't even upset. I thought it was very interesting in the non-good way until they weren't in it. And then it's like, I can't care because they're not really in it, you know? If they would have had bigger roles, maybe.
I think that was his target point, was to not give them big roles, because if you give them big roles, a lot of the podcasts that we're having right now is why is Travis Scott have such a big role in Odyssey?
Yeah.
You know,
Why is Travis
I
Scott in
think
the
that
Odyssey?
just giving him the role of just doing the chant and then just putting that at the beginning of the movie, and then even his scene, his only scene being just a repeat of the same scene.
Yeah.
I think that was a good way to do it. But now in terms of the Helena story, and then they, skipping like, oh yeah, I had a twin sister and she's my twin sister, and then you give her such an important aspect of what happens when he got back, but then we never get to expand on that. I felt like that was something that they should have probably expanded more on.
What's it? Anendon?
Agamemnon.
Agamemnon.
His whole story was so quick.
Yeah.
Like maybe a
bro,
little
just
more
aura
time
farmed,
on it.
bro. The
Like
whole
you
time.
aura farm, like, and he's this Darth Vader kind of essence the whole movie,
Right.
and then you're just like, by the way, he's also dead.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
Yeah.
And then
I'm
gets
glad
to
they
come back.
showed the scene of how he
For
got
sure.
killed,
Yeah.
but it was
quick.
weird.
It was like,
And you don't ever show him in action,
or
which
his
is kind of
face.
weird.
It's the Darth Vader effect.
I don't know.
But he just walked. Like, he didn't even fight.
Yeah, you never see him
He
swing a
has-
sword.
he
Bro,
had
him.
guys
I'm
around
not gonna
him.
lie. Him standing at the door when all
Oh.
the soldiers were charging in, made
That
me
was
laugh.
tough. When that
It
happened,
was
I said,
cool until
Yeah.
everyone ran faster than him.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, why aren't you running with them? Like, honestly, it should have been gate opens, and then they all walk at his pace. And it's
like
just in
stormtroopers.
But
Oh,
when they
that would
ran
have
faster than
been
him,
that would have
I'm
been
like-
kind of fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been kind of fire.
But when they were faster than him, I'm like, okay.
But I think
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
part of his character in the movie is like he doesn't really lift a finger. He just makes everybody else do things.
It's this
But then
mystique
how
kind
is
of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a Darth. Like it's literally like
He's the mascot.
lore thing. Like, what'd you say?
I say he's the mascot.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. They could have elaborated a little more on that. Do we have anything else on the Odyssey? Has anybody's levels changed?
I think I'm actually down on the movie a little bit more.
I fucking love my influence on you guys. I'm getting you closer to the truth every episode.
Not gonna lie.
So this is probably what'll
Supergirl
happen
was
with
rough.
any episode. Like,
Supergirl was definitely rough.
Yeah. How often are you gonna dig into the meat of a movie and come out more appreciative? That word.
Yeah, appreciative.
Yeah, Agamemnon.
Appreciative.
Agamemnon.
I can nail Agamemnon, but I can't say appreciative.
What are you more attributed to Magadan?
So one thing I will say is that one thing my wife said that was like really telling about where we are as a society, I guess you can say, is she was like society
as a society.
as a society.
Yeah, I was Joker thing as a
Oh, okay. I was like, did I say something else?
No.
Oh, well, she was talking about how like it was like refreshing to like see just like good actors act,
There's
and
a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
yeah,
Side characters that had
find them
5 seconds.
I
was
found
like,
the accents and the dialogue and the acting
that's
awful.
what we needed to talk about.
Distractingly bad.
Why are they?
My dad's coming home. No, he's not. Your father's coming home.
Yeah. Why are they talking?
My mom's here.
I didn't,
No,
I didn't,
that's your mother.
I didn't care that much.
When I got into the movie, I didn't care, but it was that part because I already knew they talked because Christopher Nolan talked on it.
They talk in the movie.
Sorry,
Yeah,
they
he was
talked.
there.
They talked normal.
He was.
Like us.
He was.
It's not a silent film, by the way, guys. But once I realized how they talked, I was like, "Ooh, that's interesting. I wonder how it's gonna sound."
I was fine with it.
It was not
Yeah.
fitting.
I love my American speaking American.
But they could have spoke English, but with an accent.
No,
Like,
no.
I don't know if the accent necessarily is the problem. But the language is
because of the times, he wouldn't have said that.
distractingly bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so like, Dad. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like,
Father.
I do that for my children.
No.
Where it's just like, I'll be reading, like we were
I
reading
want my
Peter Pan
movies
together.
speaking American. Get all American, okay? You hear me? I don't need none of that English.
He went from we need to show this movie because of white pillaging to all movies need to be American.
I need my movie speaking American, okay?
I do this for my children, where like I was reading.
You
Peter
make them
Pan,
speak American.
and it's just like it'll say something, and I'll be like, I'll use it in a words that they would understand.
Yeah.
But if I were to be reading to them as young adults, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And it's weird to like one of the things that it does like these aren't my own ideas, but like a lot of people have made commentary on like some of the tricks that we do in the trade to make it feel more grand is you give them accents and you use very formal language because it helps you just kind of get into this world.
Like Shakespearean.
Like House of the Dragon does this, where sometimes it doesn't land, where they'll be
I don't know why, but it takes me out of it when they say the F word too much. I don't know why.
Yeah,
because
the F word really threw me off in that movie.
Yeah.
I was like,
I was
you
talking
said-
about House of the Dragon, but
okay.
I don't know. It's just
I didn't.
I think they said it once, and I was like, "Oh, that's
someone says it once in the movie.
yeah."
I
it's
can't remember
very
when,
uncomfortable.
but yeah, House of the Dragon specifically. Like when people say, I don't know, just hearing people say the F word in the movie, or in the TV show, just kind of throws me off every time. But
I did notice though. I think once that was good. Like I said, once I was locked in with the movie, nothing really bothered me. But at first, I was like, "Why are they speaking like this?"
Kind of like if you're going
'Cause
to
they're
make a
Americans.
spectacle, stick to the spectacle.
Yeah,
they are Americans.
But that's
We
another-
speak
Well, that is
American
also the
in
source material
America.
thing. Because like in a sense, Homer was trying to bring a tale that had been orally stated for a long time, and he used
so they
language
knew.
and battle armor and references of his present time. So in a sense, Homer was doing what
Nolan
did.
Interesting.
It just
I just feel like it didn't hit as
it doesn't for me. It didn't work the way that I do. Wish they just used a more Old English type.
Is
style.
Christopher Nolan American?
I don't think so.
He doesn't look like
I think
American.
He doesn't look like a purebred American. I think I don't know. I think he's like.
I don't know what he is.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything on Odyssey? No.
No?
Are you still at a 10 out of 10?
Yeah, I'm still at a 10 out of 10 personally.
He wasn't listening. He's been
I'm-
checked out this whole time.
Bro,
I
just
mean,
check that.
For me personally, I feel like while like things like having to build the immersion of, if you're going to tell a Greek mythology story, do it the right way and respect the source material.
Yeah.
Is definitely something I can get behind. As you know, just for perspective, I like video games, right? And one thing that we're seeing a lot of is a lot of video game movies that are just trying to get money off of the name, essentially, right? So things like something simple as like Mario movie, right? It's all over the place. It's all over the place. But in terms of something like, you're going to go do a Greek mythology film and you're going to spend all this time, promoting it, you might as well
Make it a Greek mythology film.
Exactly. You might as well go all the way there.
Right.
It's almost like someone said that earlier today.
Yeah, but I think that ultimately, if what you're trying to target is like a casual audience, you're trying to make this a grand spectacle for many, many eyes. Yeah. I think that trying to take away some of that abrasiveness when you're trying to get the average viewer, again, that's only going to watch 1 to 3 movies a year, trying to get them to understand it, But at the end of the day, you do sacrifice a lot of the art when you try and dumb it down for somebody that doesn't understand the source material, or doesn't respect that. So I think that from a casual view, somebody doesn't have like the deepest roots to Greek mythology, I think I like the movie. But again, I'd say that if I were somebody that lived and breathed it, I definitely would give it a lower rating, because I do see the issues with the movie. Like you said, the conflicting story that they're trying to tell with the queen, as well as Odysseus, as well as the conflicting story of like, okay, who is Tom Holland's character compared to Robert Pattinson? Let's expand a little bit more on that dynamic. The travel that Tom Holland had going to try and find his father. Let's expand on that a little bit.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like he left.
It didn't feel like there were many characters in this movie. It felt like there was story beats. I knew that this movie had great source material. Right. I didn't feel like this movie used that source material well, where I'm like, oh, this beat, but I never felt like I had a character along the way, with a few exceptions, like when he touched his dog. I felt like the blind man, I felt his like servant. That was a human being there, right, with real character development. Robert Pattinson did an exceptional job. Like, I really felt like he was a very mischievous person, but the rest of them felt like hollow shells of something that should have existed, but just weren't quite alive on screen.
Right. Yeah. Right, like for example, her servant being disloyal. Like, we don't really see too much of the disloyalness until like the very end, out of nowhere. Yeah,
which can work. Like, it should be a deception, but it was almost just like.
And I felt like she should have been the one to give the weapons to the people.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, I was. That's so. Yeah, I was thinking that. I was thinking that. I thought she was going to be
in play in the story, and it's just like, oh, who's going to give these people weapons? Well, it's going to be the girl he's been sleeping with.
But then Tom Holland wouldn't have been able to fight her because she was a woman.
But they also.
Well, no, they would have had a fucking Black Widow moment where this girl is secretly a badass.
They would have just been stop.
No, she was secretly trained in the dark arts.
They couldn't have done that, because she said, grab your most loyal servants, or grab the servants you trust the most to put up the weapons. And she had already seen. Like, she already knew that she wasn't a
Then they should have had her tell one of the guys that spoiled Robert Pattinson do it. Like, they should have used her in the story.
Yeah.
Like,
that's how the dude found the weapons, right? Was like, he was like walking through, and then he was like,
he was a trusted servant.
Oh, he was considered.
Yeah, he was just standing there. He didn't even put any of them up there. He just was watching.
I also kind of don't like that, because I feel like bro had his feet to the ground. He knew he could really trust it, and I don't think he would have been deceived. So
yeah, it was very weird. Also, because like, just contextually of like how this works, the guy ran up the stairs and then got weapons, and it's just like, why aren't the other guys running up the stairs too? Like, Odysseus is murdering everyone. Why don't you guys run upstairs and dip?
Yeah. They're all just like watching.
They're not trapped. Yeah. Like, we know they're not trapped because the guy who went to go get the weapons ran out of the room. Mm-hmm. Why are you staying there to be murdered?
I think there's only more rooms.
Well, don't stay in there. Odysseus is fucking slaying.
Yeah.
Well, they
Go
Yeah.
upstairs.
they all-
Maybe he'll
they're all
slay you
trying to kill
upstairs,
him.
but at least
Yeah.
like run.
Oh, there's one more detail
I think it's a
that
pride thing. Like they're just they want to be the one that killed Odysseus.
there's one more detail that like isn't in the books that I was excited for. So in the books, the axes aren't tied together. It's 12 axes singular put into the ground, and he shoots through the bottom of the axes.
So like here's the accents underneath the blade.
So no, no. There's like holes in the tail of the axe,
At
and
the
he
base, like
What?
at the very bottom.
at the
In the
wooden
handle.
base in the handle, and so the axe part is actually in the ground, and he shoots through
Oh,
the holes.
It's upside down.
So
It's
the
upside
handle
down.
has a hole, and he shoots through.
Exactly, he shoots through the hole. So if I was able to talk to Christopher Nolan, I would ask him why. But the reason why it made it funny is because when he's picking up the axes, he's like swinging them around because they're
Hitting
still
them with the
tied together,
handles.
and he's hitting them with the handles.
Oh.
But if it was depicted how it was in the books,
You would have picked him up, and he would have been swinging them with an
exactly,
axe.
he would have been swinging them
That's
and
funny.
throwing them at him.
It's another
and,
useless change.
and so it was like, it's
I think the girl who wrote Wonder Woman was also on this. She's like, wait,
It's
What
debated.
if we change this?
it's debated on two things.
Did
So
I say Wonder Woman? I meant Supergirl.
Supergirl. So it's debated on two things. So either it was the axes were in the ground and there were holes on the handle and he shot through the handles, or the axes were handle down and there were holes in the actual blade. So either way,
He didn't do that.
he didn't do that, and so it would have made for a better fighting scene.
It would have.
If he just picks up a handle, throws it at somebody's back or head or something. Instead, he has two axes and not even swinging the
Yeah.
deadliest part of the axe. Just
The
like
other thing, I felt like in this scene, I chose to suspend disbelief because it was a powerful scene not because of its execution, but because I saw what the story was trying to aim for.
Yeah.
But this scene very much so benefited from very close camera angles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where I was just like, I feel like if you pulled back and just showed me what was going on, like he'd be dead immediately. Because it's like there's 50 guys.
Yes, yeah.
Why don't you all just
Jump
Yeah.
at one time.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But from a close perspective, I'm like, oh, he got that guy. Oh, he got that guy.
Yeah.
But like you pull back, what are you guys doing?
yeah.
And
Robert
he's-
Pattinson
he's-
should have been like,
Yeah,
everybody
and
at
when
once.
And when it kept cutting to him, they cut to him too many times.
You think
It
so?
was like grab the axe, grab the spear, and you're like, we get it, he's a coward. Like I
Yeah.
get it. And then it's like, and they did it again. It's like, I get it, he's a coward. Like you don't need to remind me. I don't know. That felt like a beat.
Interesting.
To use too many times.
I liked that part just because they were showing how cool he was.
Yeah.
And with
really-
when he rose up like a bear with the spears in his back after he killed Robert Pattinson, and everybody was
They
Oh, and he's still got arrows in his back
Yeah,
or
I was
whatever.
like, that's
He's
so
still
cool.
fighting. Yeah, that was really cool.
But no, and then he just walks to Penelope after that. But you just see like there's like a spear hanging out.
Yeah,
of his,
he's got like two
ribs.
spears
Yeah.
right
And then
here.
he's got like 6 arrows in his back, and you're like, dude, this guy is awesome.
Yeah.
And then when he fell into her arms, I was like, dude, if you kill him right now,
You
it would
could
be
be queen.
amazing.
peak.
No. I would have thought that would be really.
That'd
cool
be
if he
crazy if
died.
that's how they ended it. She kills him. She'd be like, I
No,
am
no,
the
no,
queen!
no.
You're not
Not her. I meant if she died, if he just died from his wounds.
Yeah.
It would have been like dope because then it's he died, gaining back the respect, so then Tom Holland can still be king.
Yeah.
And then it would have been like, wow, he just went on this crazy journey.
And then the guy that beat up Tom Holland would have been like, "Yeah, bro, we can take this kingdom."
What
What guy?
Well, I guess he killed
the
him.
black dude died first.
No,
the guy
no,
who
no,
was
no.
fighting
The
in
guy
the
who,
armory.
yeah, the guy who was fighting in the armory, but he did kill him. So
Yeah, he killed him too.
yeah.
the thoughts on the bow on like throughout the story?
Well, it's part of the story. So
No, but just like what are your
Oh,
thoughts
the looks of
like,
it, or just like
does he fling his bow to give warnings to animals when he hunts in the book?
Thought that was a respectable thing he did.
He didn't do it to humans.
I
He does it
don't.
for animals.
I
It's
don't
kinda weird.
remember.
And
He did.
even though it's
yeah,
kind
he
of
did.
in the books.
He did do it for humans.
When?
He literally sat there, strung it, boom.
Well, yeah, but that's not a warning that I'm about to kill you.
Yes, it is.
He
and
just
then he started killing
No,
them.
Yeah, he got right to it. Right.
He got right to it.
He said,
literally.
"You're
I will say
just."
he didn't do it to the Cyclops though.
He didn't do it to the Cyclops.
Yeah, he just
which
went
in
to
the
turn
book
around
is
to-
apparently a thing
and
where it's
then
just
ran.
like it was his hubris
Yeah.
that got him where he he just decided to antagonize the
Yeah.
Cyclops and it was like,
Yeah.
yo.
Well,
it's
so they
me.
actually, so in the books they have a conversation with the Cyclops.
Yeah, I
It's-
seen that they said
it's
his
way
name was
better.
Nobody.
Yeah, it's way better in the
The
books.
way he explained it's way better.
Yeah.
Explain.
Does
it.
he talk like Farmer?
What did I
Fred?
say
I
again?
feel like that's
Okay, so the way that
know what about him.
the way that
My
Deshaun
dad
doesn't
was
remember
like-
he explained it to me is they conversate with.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they actually have a conversation.
Do you like being mansplained?
It's like he's like.
So they have
"Oh,
a
you do it."
conversation with the Cyclops, and and Odysseus convinces the Cyclops to let them go. And so then right before he leaves is when he betrays the Cyclops and he shoots him in the eye with the arrow.
The wooden fork.
With the wooden fork, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the wooden he's
Spear.
a fiery stick, right? In the eye. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he actually shoots him with the arrow in the book, but I could be wrong.
He's saying in the
It's-
book
I think it's both.
they
I
come
think
to an
Yeah,
agreement.
but they come to
Google
agreement.
told me it was both.
Okay,
So,
so
as the expert in Google, I will officially declare it is both.
all right, fine, both. But anyway, so he tells the Cyclops that his name is Nobody. And so when the Cyclops goes back and tells everyone like who stabbed you in the eye, he says Nobody. And so no one believes that anything happened because they like who did it? And he's like nobody.
Yeah.
He's like nobody did this to me.
The
And
betrayal
so-
just would have been deeper
Yeah.
if they would have done that. Like you came to an agreement.
But he
and then
does.
betrayed him.
But he does betray the Cyclops in the movie. But it's not necessarily as
Right, in this, it's not a
suspenseful.
betrayal
Yeah,
at all. It's just like you
yeah.
need to get out.
Yeah.
Like,
But he
Yeah.
got out and he was just like,
Yeah.
we're all
Shoot
safe. Doing. Oh,
Yeah.
now let's run. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
you were good.
But
in-
one
in a
thing they
sense, is
also-
a bit of his character thing, like because they are like he's very arrogant apparently in the story, whereas it's like he
and it was for
he
his
does it.
comrades.
Yeah, the mockery.
Yeah.
Right,
shit
so
and
like
all
you
that.
can do it, but they just didn't. Once again, they didn't do a character thing. It was just like he pulls it out and pokes him with the arrow. And you're like, what the fuck,
Yeah,
bro?
you
Yeah.
guys were safe.
So there's
Calm
also
down.
so there's also
He
one.
was chill.
There's also another context that they don't explain in the movie is that Cyclopses are sons of Poseidon.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the reasons why Poseidon was more angry at Odysseus because attacking a Cyclops is attacking his son.
That's
And so
what-
they-
they said that in the movie.
Did they?
Yeah,
did.
They did? Oh, okay.
It was just
It was kind of quick.
Very
Okay,
brief.
maybe I missed it then. Okay.
I remember
okay.
that from Percy Jackson though too.
Yeah.
Those movies.
Yeah.
So fucking-
Before we close, Percy Jackson did everything Odysseus did at 13 and 7 days.
Percy Jackson's also a
Okay.
demigod.
So, yeah.
so that means that he's better.
Yes.
He's a demigod though.
No. He was 13 though. It's a balanced
With
trade.
powers.
He was 13.
A lot of responsibility
13.
with them.
Great power.
I'm trying to think if there's. I mean, no. I feel like this movie was good.
It was good.
It was. I think it's a very important.
It was
I'm
good, but it was
I'm
a
very
5.
Surprised.
crazy.
5 is good. It's worth watching.
What movie do you have at a 6? Before we get out of here, what movie
So
do you have at
think,
a 6?
You think The Long Walk was better?
Oh,
You
The Long Walk is a better film. Yeah, the characters in it. It's memorable. You learn
you say yes to?
about friendship.
So
I
it's
still
like-
haven't seen it, so
What's- Long Walk.
So what's better than a 10?
Yeah,
11.
Oh,
Well, I
10,
said
11.
personally. I said personally a 9. I started off with personally it was a 9.
Okay, and then yeah.
Just
So-
understanding the casual person, the 1 to 3. You know,
I
I'm
agree with
trying
that.
to-
I agree with that. Honestly,
Exactly.
I feel like there's some movies that like personally I think are worse, but like average.
Exactly. The
Reception,
Average
yeah.
citizen.
So
Yeah.
So then you also have the kids' witch movie above it as well.
The kids
The Weapons.
Weapons.
Weapons?
is a better made film.
I
Tells
would
a better
say-
story.
I would say the Odyssey is a better made film, but I would say the Weapons.
Yeah. I mean, like as far as like set design.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Versus like to me, I think the most important part of a movie is the story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The story, like the Odyssey, benefits from the source material.
Mm-hmm.
The person who made the movie didn't use the source material well. He didn't. It wasn't a good iteration of the source material, and I haven't even read it. I just know, like these motifs are too deep.
Yeah.
For like, I know Nolan didn't write this because this is too deep.
Kinda
Yep.
pushes you to read the book.
It does.
Yeah.
I really feel like I have a responsibility to read this book now.
I kind of want to, and I don't.
It's
Read.
long.
Yeah.
It's-
You're gonna have to go to school, man.
I'm gonna have to get a book.
So, like, the most important thing is the story you're trying to tell, because that's what we're doing, is we're telling a story. And
Yeah.
it can look good, but tell a terrible story, and it's like, it doesn't matter, because you didn't do the thing that we set out to do, which is tell a story.
That's true.
And so, like, and what you need from a story is human characters. Characters that, I mean, they don't need to be human. Planet of the Apes. You need to learn a way to act in the world. When I watch this story, I should think, damn, I should never do that again. Or, this is how I'm going to do this when I interact with this problem again. And I learned that from this character. Like, that's why we listen to stories. That's why we listen to each other when we tell, like, what happened in our day. I'm like, bro, you won't believe this. When I was driving down, and we listen because we're just like, shit, there's probably something I need to learn from this. That's why we tell stories. And so it's like, if you fail at telling the story, you don't get a 10. Weapons tells a story that is very interesting. Like, it's memorable, makes you think. Odyssey does that too, but it in very contradictory ways, where Weapons does not contradict itself. It's very self-contained. I think Obsession doesn't contradict itself. Like, it's got a message, which is like, if you forced someone to love you, is it love?
Someone who already liked you.
Yeah, but you're a freaking beta male.
Jay, you liked Obsession.
Yes, I did.
Are you obsessed?
He hated it.
Did you hate it, though?
I didn't hate it.
He hated it.
I didn't hate it.
Because you made a comment like, oh, well, I lost my jealousy because when I saw that the guy was basically a cuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas it's like, but that's not...
I don't think
That
he
is a
liked it.
part
What
of
do
the
you-
movie. Like, that's the story.
I know
like,
it
this
is.
guy is so weak.
No,
that
no,
he
no, no.
relied
I didn't.
on
No, I
making
was
a
saying
witch.
I lost my jealousy of the someone my age making that movie because of 20 minutes in. Like, it wasn't the story. It wasn't the story. I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it wasn't as epic as I thought it was going to be. And so because it wasn't that epic, I was like, okay, like, I'm no longer jealous of
Right.
the fact that somebody my age has made this movie.
What
You know what
would
I'm saying?
Rate it?
I
You guys
mean,
can all rate it. Actually, I probably won't watch it, but
oh, you still haven't seen it? Oh, I don't know. I'd say it was like a 7.
that's one of your top 5 movies of the year.
Yeah. I give it 9.5. 9.5.
Like a work shift?
Nah, not for 9.5. give
I
it
would
9.5.
I would employ it. I would give it employed.
I
It's a 9 to 5.
I'd give it a 9.5.
A 9.5?
Yeah, 9.5. I give it 9.5. Personally, because I feel like out of the stories that I've seen recently out of horror movies, you know, I feel like that there's a lot of relativity that can be told in terms of wanting something or wanting somebody and willing to do anything for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we really see in that movie what comes with, okay, you're really willing
If you
to
could
do
force it to happen.
exactly
Yeah,
what
yeah.
comes with that.
Did you watch The Substance? Have you seen that?
I didn't get to see The Substance, but I have been told multiple times after seeing Obsession and talking about Obsession to watch The
I
Substance.
like The Substance more than Obsession. I think it does a better job of explaining that concept of
Right.
like overdoing it and wanting more than you can even give yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I that's one of the reasons why I think if I would have saw Obsession before seeing The Substance, my
Right.
opinion would be a little different.
Right.
But everything I was watching while watching Obsession, I was thinking about The Substance, and I just like felt like The Substance did a better job at it.
So do you feel like Obsession is like the Odyssey to the original Odyssey films or stories? Right?
I mean, I feel like
As
it's
maybe
still
if Obsession and Substance have some type of
yeah.
relatability.
I would say that. Yeah,
Okay.
I could agree with that. Yeah, I think so. What do you guys want to see from Nolan next?
Wait, what do you rate Obsession, Gino?
Oh,
I'd give it maybe a 5 or 6. I think it'd probably be.
What are your 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 movies?
Or a 10 out of 10? What is a 10 out of 10 movie for you? Shawshank?
Shawshank is probably a perfect movie. I don't know how to correct that. I don't know how to make it better.
you gotta watch the Battle of Red Cliff.
Okay.
What's a 9 out of 10? Off the top of your head, if you can.
probably Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Like it's just like it's about a kid going through puberty, and I felt so many things watching that movie. Like it's such a human movie.
That's
You
a nice
felt like-
watch. That's a nice watch. When I get
I was just like, man, like this, like it explores like the challenge of being a parent, the challenge of identifying with your parents, the challenge of being accepted by people. It's just like, man, it's hard being a person, and you need people around you. Like it was just like, man, like I remember that. An 8 is probably The Long Walk, maybe a 7 for The Long Walk, just because the ending is a bit much. It feels a bit contradictory.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
felt
like
the
because
same way
the
about the
message
Invisible
of that is vengeance will. I mean, it's the Supergirl thing. Vengeance is a poison, and then it's like what's the thing that you do when you sacrifice yourself? You go get vengeance. You're like, whoa,
Yeah.
what happened, guys? Like they really dropped the ball. And even if that's what the book did, and you just decided to honor the book, it was a flaw in the book, and that would be where I'd say the writer should say, this is what the author missed. I'm going to tell the story, but I'm going to update it. This is the ingredient that Stephen King got wrong. And, like, everyone could be mad, but King, that's okay.
Forgot that was Stephen King. Did you like Project Hail Mary?
I fell asleep during that shit. I fell asleep.
It is
I fell
long.
asleep.
It is long.
I
But
fell asleep.
so boring sleep or just like you fell asleep?
All right, so I'm watching the movie, and as I'm watching the movie, like I can kind of get as to.
I say this guy's not invited again.
We're gonna re-record tomorrow.
No, I understand. As I was watching the movie, I understood as to why it grasped the audience the way that it did. But I think that just in terms of probably where I was at in terms of watching the movie, it just didn't hit for me. So I can understand as to why for a lot of people that had read the book previously that were like, were fans of it, why they liked it. Again, totally get it. But again, just for me, it was just something that resonated with me necessarily in terms of, again, like I fell asleep during the movie, so,
Yeah, it didn't fist your bump.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a book adaptation.
But
I found out the week of the movie that it was coming out that it was a book first.
Wow. I loved that movie.
Yeah. So when I
Solid 4 out of 10.
and then
No, I'm just kidding. I'd give it higher.
as well as I seen it, it was one of those
my
movies that I
gosh.
just picked up on a whim.
We're gonna
I had seen
need
a
2 more
YouTube trailer. I
hours.
was like, oh, this looks cool. Let's go see that.
Yeah.
Because every week I try to go to the theater. I go every Thursday. So that was the movie of the week. I was like, okay, let me go try that out.
Terminator 2, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Great. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
You've never seen it, have
Did
you?
you say T2? Or
Oh
you said
my
something that sounded like
goodness.
T2, and I was like, Terminator. That's a fucking
No, but I
crazy-
will
never seen
say,
it.
what do you guys think about Terminator 2 being put back?
He hasn't seen Terminator. God, are you... Oh,
So, would you like to come replace Jordell?
Jesus.
I
Maybe-
You haven't watched The
maybe
Lord of
he
the
can-
Rings.
maybe
You
he
haven't
can-
seen Terminator.
I was gonna
You
finish
haven't
Lord of
seen
the
Shawshank
Rings. I was
Redemption.
gonna finish Lord of the
We
Rings,
are going
and
to
you got
live
upset with
stream.
me and made me
You
stop
are
so we
going
could
to
watch
be-
it together.
We need to duct tape him
I
to
think
a
we
chair
I think
and
we
live
found
stream
our
him
new
watching
producer
these
actually.
films.
I think we found our new producer. So we can talk and then when he
Oh
catches up on
my God.
real movies.
This is okay. I'm not gonna lie, and this is going to it's gonna sound insulting, but like I think I actually get it. I understand why your scores are so high,
But his are high too, and he's seen these movies.
but like your scores are like how I'm like how do you give this an 8 out of 10 when I've seen like a 10 out of 10 movie? Okay, so but like when I hear your scores, I'm like I don't understand how. But then the more I hear the movies you haven't watched, I'm like, oh yeah, no wonder you would rate these movies at an 8 because like if you had seen these excellent top tier movies,
I don't think so.
You wouldn't give them 8s.
I don't think so. I'll watch Terminator 2 and then watch Shang-Chi, and I'll still say Shang-Chi's an 8.
No, you
No.
couldn't. It's not possible.
Not possible.
It's not
You have
possible.
Shang-Chi at a 7.
Yeah, that's a different score. It's,
Yeah,
it's
not
still
that
wrong.
much off.
It's still
I also
wrong.
haven't seen Shang-Chi since I watched it in theaters, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I probably would be lower.
You started this podcast attacking him for Shang-Chi.
Well, we
What
actually
did I
haven't
say?
talked about Shang-Chi, but
You were the one that said
No, I'm
Shang-Chi
saying
was...
this episode. We both attacked him.
Yeah.
All I said was the trees moved better in Shang-Chi, though.
No, at the beginning of this podcast, we both yelled at him today.
It's been too long. I don't
it's
remember.
been a
what
long time. We've been talking for a minute. You asked what we would like to
See next from Nolan.
See next from Nolan.
It has to be an original. Nothing, no more adaptations.
So it has to be original.
I'll be honest. I think Nolan might be
Retirement?
done. I think he should probably be done. This would probably be a good time to exit because it is ending on a critical and audience perception high note.
Yeah.
I don't think he will be.
I would be okay with one more original movie.
I would like it to be original.
Yeah.
I would agree. If it can be original, it would be interesting to see him do like the same thing we talked about with like Tarantino's idea.
Yeah.
Like, what if he redid Memento?
I would be okay with that. I would want it to be original, and I would want it to be with people.
Prestige 2 with Hugh
Prestige
Jackman.
2. Yeah, that would be
and
interesting.
As Wolverine.
No, I would want it to be with people who he hasn't worked with.
Recasting would be nice. He's
I
kinda
think
stuck
no, I would just if he makes one more movie and it's his last whatever, I would want to see him work with people who he hasn't worked with before.
What if he did a synthesis of all of his ideas? Space travel, time travel, superheroes. He like tried to just make a conglomeration of everything. I don't know.
And then the Odyssey.
I don't think he could.
And then the Odyssey.
Yeah, like
I don't
how would
know.
you incorporate
I'm
that
kind of
Greek
Nolaned
mythology?
out. This to me, I honestly felt like Oppenheimer was fine. I didn't hate it. It was a decent movie.
I fell asleep.
The music is the best part of that movie. Like, there's an interesting warning. It only gave the warning of the atomic bomb, and I do agree that no one should have the power of the atomic bomb, and the atomic bomb led to the world's greatest stint of peace that we've ever had. It's really complicated. I wish it never had been made, but now that it's made, we have to have it.
Yeah.
And so like that movie is very thought provoking. But I feel like he's just done. Tenet was fine. He's very creative. He's a very interesting idea guy. But his movies,
Tenet's just very confusing.
Yeah,
like
it's
a
not
a casual watcher will.
Yeah,
hate
it's
that
not a
movie.
Tenet.
I would be
a Tenet.
interested in seeing him take a producing role in Hollywood and helping people
as an advisor.
Of
like,
one
this is how you
1,000%.
approach film.
Because I think about, and I don't know how you feel about the first Transformers movie, but Spielberg was a big influence on getting the movie made behind the scenes, and a lot of people don't know that. And I mean, I'm not saying I want Nolan to produce Transformers movies, but something original, or at least, I don't know, something new, something fresh that is from someone younger than him, someone who may be new to the industry or maybe has been in it for a while.
mentor role would be interesting, yeah.
But I don't know. I think at some, I don't know. Filmmaking is so much more than just directing, and I would like to see the people who have developed a cachet of being able to make good movies expand their roles in Hollywood so that we aren't always getting slop. And so
I agree. And I wouldn't say Nolan produces slop. He just makes, this is like, that didn't land.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, he's been able to produce good movies,
yeah.
and his expertise and his best work is behind him, and that doesn't necessarily mean that he can't.
He's lost his prestige.
I'm trying to wrap this up.
Okay.
You just keep talking. Like
There's
you
a
didn't
memento.
talk.
All right. Yeah,
No,
we can work towards.
There's no memento.
If Tenet was nope.
No, but I want to see the new age. It sounds dumb to say, but the new age elder statesman, in a sense, help the new guard of people develop movies that actually mean something. So yeah. Maybe I'll just send him, email him scripts until he responds.
Yeah.
After Gino's proofread them and made his corrections.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys?
Before we wrap up, I think we should bring up the casting.
Oh my goodness. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah,
we need a saying before
And that's the tooth.
Gosh, you are just.
We'll work on it, guys. We'll work on it.
You are.